725, 725. Chapter 725. Continue. Don't stop. The skill star core grew brighter and hotter. Lin Moyu's attention was entirely focused on the skill star core, which was rapidly spinning and generating flames. Lin Moyu had no time to talk to Antares, his eyes fixed on the skill star core.
The second star is about to be born.
Antares also entered Lin Moyu's soul, appreciating the grand spectacle with him. A 100% soul fusion, transforming an ordinary skill into a soul skill.
The soul skills you mentioned are also called spells in the great world. And a 100% fusion degree, where the skill star core transforms into a star, is called a stellar level spell. Those spells that haven't formed stars are called planetary level spells. Spells can carry laws, and the amount of laws a spell can carry varies with its level. Stellar level spells can carry several times, even dozens or hundreds of times more laws than planetary level spells. How wonderful! Such a beautiful star! It's said that when a star is born, it is accompanied by very mysterious things. Even a strong person may only witness it a few times in their life. Cherish it.
Antares murmured, seemingly speaking to Lin Moyu, but also to himself. Lin Moyu remembered Antares' words well. At this moment, his attention was entirely captivated by the star about to be born, and he did not respond to Antares. Boom! The skill star core reached its limit and exploded. It transformed into a mass of flames, rising into the soul world. The explosion's light swept across the entire soul world, causing subtle changes.
What is this?
As the star exploded, Lin Moyu suddenly saw something mysterious. It was something he had never seen before. At the center of the brilliant explosion, there was a small black dot. The black dot seemed to connect to somewhere. Lin Moyu's attention was already focused on the star, especially after hearing Antares' intentional words. He was even more alert. Now, he indeed saw something different. The pitch-black dot looked like a bottomless cave, filled with mystery, deeply attracting him. But the black dot appeared abruptly and disappeared even faster. It lasted less than half a second before vanishing. It was almost a fleeting moment. When Lin Moyu came back to his senses, the skill star core had already transformed into a star, hanging high in the soul space, emitting intense light. Compared to the star formed by undead wings, this new star seemed a bit lonely, standing alone. But it did not diminish its nobility, fundamentally different from those planetary-level soul skills. Lin Moyu immediately felt that his soul space seemed to have expanded, and his soul level had also correspondingly increased. On the path from level 93 to 94, he had taken another small step. With a few more steps like this, he could reach level 94. As the soul level increased, his combat power would significantly improve, and it would be an all-around enhancement with no weaknesses.
Did you see anything just now?
Antares' voice sounded. Lin Moyu replied,
I saw a black dot. It seemed very mysterious, but it disappeared too quickly to see clearly.
Antares chuckled.
Remember that black dot. What is it? Is it important?
Lin Moyu instinctively felt the black was very mysterious and strongly attracted him, but he didn't know what it was.
Very important to everyone, but for now, just remember it. You are not qualified to touch it yet.
Antares was very serious, clearly not wanting to say more. Lin Moyu understood and did not ask further. Next was the time to reap the rewards. Finally, he had transformed an ordinary skill into a soul skill, and it was a perfect stellar level spell. With excitement, he checked the skill. Bone Fangs, fusion degree 100%, release Bone Fangs to attack, the number and power determined by the amount of mental power consumed. Is that it? Looking at the skill description, Lin Moyu was slightly stunned, his expression very strange. Antares noticed Lin Moyu's expression.
What's wrong?
Lin Moyu said,
This skill of mine is a bit strange. What's strange about it? Speak clearly, don't stutter.
Antares looked at Lin Moyu with disdain. Lin Moyu didn't know how to explain.
I'll demonstrate it for you.
Spell, Bone Fangs. He pointed to the sky and the skill was activated. A white light appeared at his fingertip, then exploded, transforming into tens of thousands of sharp white bones piercing the sky. The fangs moved as fast as lightning, covering tens of thousands of meters in an instant, almost like teleportation. If not for Antares' sharp eyes, it would have been hard to see. The roar sounded only after the fangs had completely disappeared. Lin Moyu himself had over 2.6 million mental power, and with the Monarch Staff's bonus, his mental power exceeded 3 million. During the skill demonstration, Lin Moyu used 1/3 of his mental power, which was 1 million mental power. Using 1 million mental power for a skill, even the strongest forbidden spells in the mage system didn't require such high mental power. Mental power can be seen as an external manifestation of soul strength, and controlling a large amount of mental power also requires a strong soul. Controlling 1 million mental power was not difficult for Lin Moyu. The mental power was replenished instantly, as if it had never been consumed. The comprehensive connection talent silently played its role. Antares watched Lin Moyu's skill demonstration, feeling something was off. Before it could speak, Lin Moyu released the skill a second time. This time, his fingertip carried lightning. Lin Moyu used the lightning law, the only law he could currently drive. Again, with 1 million mental power, a white light appeared at his fingertip, rising with the lightning, then exploding in the sky, illuminating an area of several miles like daylight. The sky seemed to have a white sun, the light lasting for several seconds before disappearing. Failed. Antares was stunned.
Failed?
Lin Moyu nodded.
It can't carry the law. Impossible.
Antares was shocked, finding it hard to believe. A perfect stellar level spell unable to carry a law was something it had never seen in its long life. Lin Moyu smiled bitterly.
I think I know why.
When the star illuminated his soul, Lin Moyu felt something was off. Now he was 100% sure it was the Great World Rune causing trouble. Antares asked,
The Great World Rune?
Lin Moyu nodded with difficulty.
It should be. I felt something was wrong earlier.
Facing the actions of the Great World Rune, even Antares was helpless. Last time, it failed to stop Lin Moyu from awakening the skill, so this time it used a different method. Clearly a perfect stellar level spell, but it wouldn't let it carry a law. It made it worse than a low fusion degree planetary level spell. It was very frustrating. Antares wanted to comfort Lin Moyu but didn't know where to start. Lin Moyu shook off his bitter smile, his eyes firm.
Blessings and misfortunes are intertwined. Who can say what the result will be? The Great World Rune is not omnipotent. There will be a way to deal with it. And my skill, even without a law, is still powerful.
As he spoke, Lin Moyu continuously fired bone fangs into the sky, seemingly venting his frustration. Antares watched Lin Moyu, his eyes subtly changing.
Continue, don't stop.
726. Chapter 726. No lowest, only lower. Lin Moyu followed Antares' advice and continued to release bone fangs. Moreover, the consumption of mental power was becoming increasingly massive. With the presence of the comprehensive connection talent, he didn't have to worry about the consumption of mental power at all. All the consumed mental power would be distributed to each summoned creature. The moment it was consumed, the mental power would be replenished. Lin Moyu could completely use his mental power without any reservations. When the mental power consumed by each skill reached 3 million, the number of bone fangs had already exceeded 100,000. The power and speed had greatly increased, and even with the soul eye, Lin Moyu couldn't see clearly. He could only see the bone fangs flash from the light cluster at his fingertip and then disappear without a trace. The speed was beyond 100,000 meters per second, possibly reaching millions or tens of millions of meters per second. The speed was incredibly fast. As for the power, Lin Moyu could roughly judge. Although he couldn't see it, the space where the bone fangs passed would leave faint marks. The space seemed to be torn but not completely. A deep scratch was left behind. This alone indicated that the power of the bone fangs was definitely not weak. approaching that of a high-level divine professional. While Lin Moyu was using the skill, Antares, who had told him not to stop, closed his eyes. He wasn't sleeping but sensing something. Lin Moyu could feel Antares' soul power fluctuating violently. Then a huge eye appeared on Antares' forehead. A third eye. Divine Dragon Wisdom Eye. Antares used the Divine Dragon Wisdom Eye on his main body for the first time. Under the Divine Dragon Wisdom Eye, nothing could hide, not even the Great World Rune. Antares observed the bone fangs with the Divine Dragon Wisdom Eye for a full minute. Then he spoke.
Attack me with full strength.
Lin Moyu didn't hesitate to aim the skill at Antares. After all, it wasn't the first time, and Lin Moyu had no psychological burden. The bone fangs landed on Antares, and this level of attack was nothing more than a scratch to him. After feeling it for a while, Antares slowly said,
That's enough, stop.
Lin Moyu stopped and asked,
What did you discover?
Antares said,
A law I've never seen or heard of before. Huh!
Under the curse of the Great World Rune, the bone fangs couldn't carry a law. Yet Antares said he sensed a law, one he had never seen before. This broke Lin Moyu's imagination again. Antares shook his dragon head.
Let me think about how to describe it. Filled with the aura of death, but there seems to be a trace of life within the death. It's similar to your undead summons.
Lin Moyu thought of the scene when he used the skill, like the arrival of the undead world, and blurted out,
I want to call it the undead law. Very fitting indeed.
Antares reorganized his words.
I sense the undead law in your spell. This undead law exists within the spell itself, not from an external source. From this, I judge that although the Great World Rune can suppress your stellar-level spells and prevent your laws from integrating, it cannot suppress the laws carried by the spells themselves.
Lin Moyu asked,
Are there spells in the Great World that inherently carry laws?
Following Antares' words, he also started calling soul skill spells. Although he was used to calling them soul skills in the Great World, there was a more common term. Each race had its own name for their abilities, and spells were the most popular and common term, like a universal language that everyone could understand. But people from the same hometown still used their own dialects. When he went to the Great World in the future, Lin Moyu would also have to adapt to the local customs. Antares replied,
Spells that inherently carry laws are not non-existent, but they are very rare. Moreover, such spells are extremely powerful.
Lin Moyu asked,
How can I enhance the laws within my soul skills? No spells.
Antares shook his head.
You can only rely on yourself to comprehend. Laws are somewhat mysterious. Use this skill more, comprehend it more, and perhaps you can enhance it. Moreover, I feel that instead of comprehending other laws, you should focus on comprehending the undead law. The undead law is the law of your profession, much stronger than the lightning law.
Lin Moyu also understood that his profession dealt with undead creatures. Comprehending the undead law was naturally the best. Of course, Lin Moyu also had an ambition. He didn't want to give up on the time law. If possible, he wanted to master both. Lin Moyu said,
I will study it well. My soul power still has surplus. I should be able to move another skill star core.
Antares' dragon eyes lit up, suddenly energized.
Go move it, and let me continue killing you later. Man.
Lin Moyu couldn't be bothered with him. His soul power moved slightly, entering his soul world. In the soul world, the stellar-level spell representing undead wings burned like a fireball, high above, with 5 planetary-level spells rotating around it. Not far away, the newly formed stellar-level spell, Bone Fangs, seemed lonely, standing alone. In the soul space, soul power permeated. Maintaining these converted spell star cores required a constant consumption of massive soul power. Only when there was surplus soul power could he go to the skill space to move another one. Now that Lin Moyu's soul power had surplus, he felt he could move another skill star core. Lin Moyu once again rushed into the skill space like a bandit, quickly locking onto the nearest skill star core. Soul power wrapped around it and dragged it out.
It's harder than last time.
Because there were fewer skill star cores, the space's restraining force increased accordingly. But it still couldn't stop Lin Moyu, who dragged it out of the skill space. The restraining force of the skill space tried to stop Lin Moyu but seemed helpless. Half a day later, the skill star core was dragged out of its birthplace and entered another unfamiliar environment. Following a fixed route, Lin Moyu skillfully transported the skill star core into the soul world. He found a suitable place to fix it and then poured soul power into it without holding back. The skill star core seemed to realize its fate and cooperated with Lin Moyu, devouring soul power voraciously. It seemed really hungry, devouring large amounts of soul power.
Eat. No matter how much you eat, I can supply it.
Lin Moyu wasn't feeding soul power. He was stuffing it. He ignored his soul's capacity and poured it in recklessly. He stuffed it happily, and the skill star core devoured it happily. The light began to grow stronger and brighter.
Kill me. All right. Here I come.
A shameless voice responded to an even more shameless one. And Terry's excited, slapped Lin Moyu. This time, he didn't use dragon breath, he tried a different method. It felt like he wanted to use every possible way to kill. Anyway, Lin Moyu couldn't die, so Antares had no reservations. One slap after another, Lin Moyu died repeatedly, only to be reborn in the purple light of his talent. Antares urged,
Can you do it? Soft-footed human, hurry up. Stuff it, pour in the soul power. Don't be afraid of overloading it. You can't overload it.
Antares shouted excitedly, shamelessly. Lin Moyu thought of a saying,
No lowest, only lower.
727. Chapter 727, two choices, actually no need to think. The new skill star core began to charge. Lin Moyu thought of a new term which was very fitting. During the charging period, the man and the dragon continued their previously interrupted conversation. Antares asked,
Where did I leave off? You said the difference between the two methods is significant.
Lin Moyu rolled his eyes at him, clearly knowing that Antares was doing it on purpose. At Antares' level, how could he possibly forget where he left off? Antares chuckled dryly and continued,
Let's talk about the first method first. Let this small world be completely exposed in the great world. The advantage of doing this is that the small world can bathe in the laws of the great world. The process of being baptized by the laws of the great world will last for hundreds of years. As the master of the world, during this period, you can easily comprehend the laws. This is the great world's preferential treatment for newly promoted small worlds.
Lin Moyu asked in a deep voice,
What about the disadvantages?
Nothing can have only advantages without any disadvantages. With so many advantages, there must also be disadvantages. Antares continued,
The disadvantages are also obvious. Once exposed, this small world will lose the protection of the laws of the great world. The position of the world master can be contested and replaced. I don't need to tell you how many strong beings and powerful races will come over by then, right?
A newly promoted small world is like a delicious meat bun, and everyone wants a bite. As the master of this world, Lin Moyu would be the first to bear the brunt. He was not confident in defending against the competition from various strong beings. Moreover, he had to consider the safety of others in the world. The aftermath of a great battle would bring disaster to the entire world. Others only want the position of the world master and the preferential treatment of being baptized by the laws of the great world. Those foreign strong beings would not care about the life and death of the native creatures of this world. Thinking of this, Lin Moyu felt a chill down his spine. He could imagine what the world would become without the protection of the laws of the great world. His small world was still too weak. Currently, under the protection of the laws of the great world, there is a strong and solid barrier outside the small world. It is very difficult for other strong beings to invade. They can only use some special methods to invade this world. Only in this situation does the small world have a bit of self-preservation power. Seeing Lin Moyu's solemn expression, Antares continued.
If you choose this path, I can help you guard the world. With me here, ensuring your safety is not a big problem.
Lin Moyu understood Antares' meaning. Ensuring his safety was not a problem, but it was hard to say for others. If a real great battle broke out, the aftermath alone would be unbearable for ordinary people. Some strong beings, if they can't get what they want, might even destroy the world. Lin Moyu asked,
How do other small worlds usually handle their promotion? There are various methods, but generally, battles are unavoidable. Some small worlds are in remote locations and are not discovered during their promotion. After 100 years, the baptism of the laws of the great world is over, and no one comes to contest it.
A remote location. Clearly, his small world was not. It hadn't even been promoted yet, and it was already being watched. And it wasn't just one race watching. The soul race, demons, forces within the dragon race, and that old man riding the green ox. Lin Moyu felt that his world was already a coveted treasure in the eyes of others. It was truly a headache.
The problem is, the world hasn't been promoted yet, so how did others discover it?
Facing Lin Moyu's question, Antares chuckled lightly.
You'd have to ask those guys from the previous era. It's useless to talk about it now. Let me tell you about the second choice. If you choose the second method, you leave the world and enter the great world alone. In this way, you will lack the baptism of the laws of the great world, which is not beneficial for your growth, but it also has no disadvantages. The advantage is that this world can still be protected by the laws of the great world, and the people in this world can be safe. Moreover, as the master of the world, you can further enhance the world's security. When you become strong enough in the future, you can let the world be promoted.
Antares clearly explained the pros and cons of both methods, leaving the choice to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't think for long and already had an answer. There were people in this world he needed to protect, and he couldn't let them be in danger. He was not a saint. He could kill without blinking and was ruthless to his enemies. Demons, dragons, gods, and even humans had died by his hand. As long as they became his enemies, he could kill them without mercy. But at the same time, there were also his family and friends in this world. He would not allow them to be harmed.
I know what to do.
Lin Moyu had made his decision. Antares seemed to have guessed Lin Moyu's choice.
All right then.
Saying this, he slapped Lin Moyu again, 4 times in a row, activating his talent. This time, Antares didn't shout, and Lin Moyu remained silent. After 4 slaps, purple light rose from Lin Moyu's body, and his talent was activated. After 3 rounds of this, the skill star core was finally full. It had transformed into a mass of flames, leaping from an ordinary skill star core to a perfect stellar level spell. Antares reappeared in Lin Moyu's soul world. At the moment when the stellar level spell truly took shape, the small black dot in the explosion was a scene he very much wanted to see. Lin Moyu also wanted to see it again, even though it was just a fleeting moment, and he couldn't see much. But he wanted to remember that feeling. Antares told him to remember it, and it wouldn't be wrong. The fireball exploded, radiating light. Lin Moyu once again saw the small black dot in the center of the explosion. The small black dot lasted only half a second, and Lin Moyu focused all his attention, trying to extend that half second as much as possible. Half a second was very short, and Lin Moyu still saw nothing. But this small black dot had an infinite attraction to him. Not just to him, but to others as well. Antares squinted his eyes with a fascinated look, and Lin Moyu knew he must have discovered something. Antares had said that it was something all strong beings wanted to see. But the opportunities to see it were very few. Lin Moyu provided such an opportunity, and Antares seized it. He hoped it would help Antares. If it could really help Antares, Lin Moyu would be genuinely happy. Looking at the newly risen star, his soul suddenly trembled. That oppressive feeling reappeared.
The Great World Rune.
Lin Moyu gritted his teeth, feeling a sense of rage. The Great World Rune had acted again. Needless to say, this newly born, seemingly perfect stellar level spell also couldn't carry laws. The Great World Rune used a method he couldn't understand to limit his growth. This feeling was very annoying, but there was nothing he could do. Fortunately, the Great World Rune couldn't suppress the laws carried by the spell itself. Putting aside his frustration, he checked the newly promoted stellar level spell. Bone Prison, Fusion Degree 100% bind the enemy, causing paralysis. Bound enemies cannot move or counterattack. The number and duration of bound enemies depend on the amount of mental power consumed. 728. Chapter 728. Rarely Seen Double Star Spell. When Lin Moyu first obtained the Bone Prison skill, he used it frequently. At that time, his combat power was not strong, and he needed to control his enemies in various ways. Whether it was chasing down enemies, controlling the pace of battle, or interrupting enemy skills, the Bone Prison was very effective. Later, as his enemies grew stronger, the skill's effectiveness began to lag behind. Moreover, as his combat power increased, his fighting style became more open and aggressive, and the frequency of using Bone Prison decreased. In recent battles, he hadn't used the skill at all. Lin Moyu always believed that there were no useless skills, only useless practitioners and unsuitable scenarios. The temporary uselessness of Bone Prison did not mean it would always be useless in the future. Finally, now that Bone Prison had been transformed from an ordinary skill into a spell, and even a stellar level spell, it was still very powerful even if it couldn't carry laws. The skill level was no longer its limitation. Only mental power was its limit. As long as there was enough mental power, it could completely restrict the enemy. Lin Moyu had no shortage of mental power. With the skill becoming a spell, the characteristic of reduced damage also disappeared, no longer affecting the damage to the enemy. Imagine controlling the enemy and attacking them when they couldn't resist. How satisfying would that be? Lin Moyu couldn't wait to control the Dragon Emperor and give him a good beating. But Lin Moyu also knew that the Dragon Emperor wouldn't be so easily controlled. Even if he used all his mental power, it would be difficult to effectively control him. After all, the level difference was too great. He was only level 80 while the Dragon Emperor was already level 99, at the peak of the half-step transcendent level. One more step forward, and he would be a genuine transcendent level. Moreover, with that unknown giant axe in hand, his combat power was infinitely close to the transcendent level. And the skill that appeared like a black hole at the end, Lin Moyu felt that relying on just these two skills, it would still be difficult to defeat the Dragon Emperor.
It's not an attack skill, so even if it can't carry laws, it doesn't matter much.
Lin Moyu comforted himself. Facing the powerful and mysterious Great World Rune, he had already won once by luck. This time, the Great World Rune didn't give him another chance, directly sealing his spell, preventing it from carrying laws. As a result, even a perfect stellar level spell was only slightly stronger than an ordinary skill. Compared to those spells that carried laws, it was much weaker. Antares seemed to still be in contemplation, not opening his eyes. Lin Moyu didn't disturb him, silently watching the new resident in his soul world. The star representing Bone Prison was also a solitary one, without any planetary-level spells orbiting it. But this was normal. In Lin Moyu's plan, he would eventually transform all planetary-level spells into stellar-level ones. All spells would have a fusion degree of 100%. Even the Great World Rune couldn't stop him from doing this.
Huh? What's happening?
Lin Moyu noticed that the stars representing Bone Prison and Bone Fangs were getting closer. There seemed to be a connection forming between them. Lin Moyu saw what looked like fiery lines extending from the two stars, like tentacles, connecting with each other. They approached each other and, upon reaching a certain distance, began to rotate around each other. The rotation speed increased, creating a dazzling scene.
It's a double star.
Antares suddenly sighed. He had woken up at some point and was watching the two rotating stars with bright eyes. Lin Moyu asked,
What is a double star?
Antares' eyes sparkled.
Each star represents a spell. When two stars with similar properties approach each other and form a connection, creating a situation where they are intertwined, it is called a double star. Once a double star is formed, the effect of the spells will greatly increase. Using one spell can achieve the effect of 2 spells, but with only the consumption of 1 spell. The most crucial part is that the 2 spells can simultaneously carry 2 sets of laws, exploding together.
At this point, Antares suddenly stopped talking. He realized that Lin Moyu's spells couldn't carry laws, and he had touched on Lin Moyu's sore spot. Lin Moyu didn't mind. He caught the key point in Antares' words.
I want to do an experiment.
Lin Moyu was very curious about the double star spell and wanted to know its real effect. Antares also seemed eager to know and agreed without hesitation. Antares grabbed a few monsters with levels ranging from 70 to 80. Without exception, these monsters all came from the lower space. The low-level monsters in the upper space no longer qualified as test subjects. Facing Antares, these monsters could only tremble uneasily, without any resistance. They looked like meat on a chopping board, with no other possibility but to wait for death. The survival rule of the weak being prey to the strong was vividly displayed at this moment. Lin Moyu locked onto one of the monsters and used the spell. Spell Bone Prison. The monster, which had been struggling uneasily, suddenly became stiff. A layer of white bone appeared on its body, paralyzing it as if it had been petrified by the bone prison. Almost simultaneously with the formation of the bone prison, bone fangs exploded. With a bang, the monster was shattered into pieces. Tens of thousands of bone fangs seemed to explode within the monster, piercing through its body and tearing it to pieces.
Interesting.
Lin Moyu's mouth curled into a smile. His previous displeasure swept away. He could feel that the bone fangs had exploded from the bone prison. Moreover, the explosion was not just at one point but at various points all over the body. The bone prison became the carrier of the bone fangs, controlling the monster while attacking it with spikes. Double star spell. This was the double star spell that Antares had mentioned. Using one skill could achieve the effect of 2 skills, with only the consumption of 1 mental power. He only needed to use Bone Prison to control the monster, and Bone Fangs would simultaneously launch an attack. As a result, the practicality of Bone Prison greatly increased. Moreover, the biggest headache with Bone Fangs, the hit rate issue, seemed to be improved.
Let's try multiple targets.
Lin Moyu used the same amount of mental power and locked onto multiple targets with his soul. He cast the spell, and several monsters were simultaneously trapped by Bone Prison. The controlled monsters couldn't move, covered in a layer of white bone. Then, with several bangs, the white bone fangs shot out, piercing through the monsters' bodies and tearing them apart again. It was still an instant kill without any suspense. However, it was slightly different from the previous skill. Using the same amount of mental power to control multiple monsters, the number of bone fangs also decreased accordingly. The total amount remained the same, but the number of attacks each monster received was reduced. The bone fangs were evenly distributed by the skill.
What if I use bone fangs to attack?
Lin Moyu pointed his finger. Spell Bone Fangs. A white light cluster exploded, and the bone fangs flashed by. The monsters hit by the bone fangs were immediately covered in white bone, completely controlled by the bone prison. Using it in reverse had the same effect. As long as one spell hit, it would trigger the second spell. It was indeed very magical.
Try it on me.
Antares squinted his eyes, once again volunteering to be the test subject. 729, 729. Chapter 729. The bandit returns to the Dragon Clan. Not enough killing yet. Ordinary monsters could no longer test the strength of the skills. Lin Moyu used Antares as a test subject. Antares' existence was unshakable by Lin Moyu, making it the perfect test subject. Lin Moyu used Bone Prison on Antares. This time, Lin Moyu used all his mental power without holding back. He knew that even with all his mental power, he couldn't harm Antares. The difference in their levels was like heaven and earth, impossible to measure. 3 million mental power was instantly consumed. Antares was not bound. The bone prison only flickered on Antares for less than 0.1 seconds before collapsing. It had no effect, but in that 0.1 second, The already collapsed bone prison still unleashed bone fangs. The double star spell, even if the binding failed, did not affect it. Bone fangs exploded on Antares, hitting its hard dragon scales with intense impact sounds. Antares carefully felt it and said in a deep voice,
"A very good spell, control plus attack. If the enemy is weaker, being bound means instant death. The attack power is about at level 90, enough to instantly kill a level 90 professional."
Antares' feelings were similar to Lin Moyu's. The power of bone fangs depended on the mental power consumed. Currently, Lin Moyu's mental power was only 3 million. If he used the strengthened troop skill, his mental power could increase significantly, and the power would also increase. Moreover, there was a 500% additional damage bonus, making it possible to instantly kill a level 92 divine professional. With this skill, even without using summoning skills, Lin Moyu could fight against divine professionals. Antares sighed.
"It's a pity that such a good skill can't carry laws."
Lin Moyu smiled without saying anything. Couldn't now, but that didn't mean it couldn't in the future. He didn't believe the Great World Rune was unsolvable. Otherwise, how to explain the first time? There would always be a way to solve the problem. Lin Moyu asked,
"Since there are double star spells, are there triple, quadruple, or quintuple star spells?"
Antares nodded.
"Yes, I've seen triple and quadruple star spells, but I've only heard of quintuple star spells, never seen them. Even in the Great World, having 5 perfect stellar level spells with similar properties is rare."
Lin Moyu asked,
"What's the highest number of stars?" "Legend has it there are 10 star spells, but no one has ever seen them. It's just a legend, impossible in reality. If you can get a quintuple star spell, you can dominate your peers."
According to Antares' explanation, the more connected stars, the greater the spell's power. Especially after 3 stars are connected, forming a triple star spell, the power increases significantly. Each additional star doubles the power. Lin Moyu laughed.
"I can't use laws though."
Antares shook his head.
"It doesn't matter. Even without laws, as long as you have enough stars, you can still crush your opponents."
Lin Moyu exhaled deeply.
"I hope so. Please send me back to the Dragon Clan world." "You're going back?" "I need to practice in real combat."
In the Dragon Clan world, Lin Moyu appeared silently. His eyes were filled with killing intent and determination. He still had unfinished business in the Dragon Clan world. Just destroying 2 cities wasn't enough. When the Dragon Clan invaded back then, they destroyed many cities. At that time, the human race suffered billions of casualties. He had only killed a few dragons, not nearly enough. Gratitude must be repaid, and grudges must be avenged. Lin Moyu was clear about his principles. The undead wings spread, and he chose a direction at random. With a flap of his wings, he flew like lightning. This was the wind element region, filled with wind everywhere. Lin Moyu rode the wind, bringing destruction. A large city came into view, and in the next second, Lin Moyu was already in the city. The city's defense system detected Lin Moyu, the intruder, and alarms blared, activating formations. But it was too late. Lin Moyu had already charged into the city. His vast soul spread out, locking onto thousands of dragons. White light appeared at his fingertips. Spell Bone Prison. Using 3 million mental power, it was a full-force attack in normal conditions. White light flickered in the city, and all the dragons locked by Lin Moyu were paralyzed. White bones appeared on their bodies, and then bone fangs exploded from the bones, tearing them to pieces. In one strike, thousands of dragons died on the spot. Among them were high-level dragons and dragon warriors. Regardless of their level, the result was the same. Antares' evaluation was very objective. Lin Moyu's skill was enough to instantly kill a level 90 divine professional. This meant that the power of the strike reached level 90, the realm of dragon kings. No matter how powerful the dragon warriors were, they couldn't withstand the attack of a dragon king. Lin Moyu's single attack did not scare off the dragons. This was a major city of the Dragon Clan, home to hundreds of thousands of dragons and a large stationed army. A large number of dragon soldiers took to the sky, rushing towards Lin Moyu. This time, Lin Moyu did not summon the undead army. This time, he planned to kill the enemies himself. With killing intent boiling in his eyes, Lin Moyu shouted softly. Concentrate and strengthen troops were activated simultaneously. Both states pushed Lin Moyu's combat power to the limit. Soul power was consumed rapidly. At level 81, his soul power could maintain for a full 12 seconds, twice as long as before. But Lin Moyu didn't need to worry about time. As long as there were enough enemies to kill, the duration of the spells could be extended indefinitely. Attributes were pushed to the limit, and at the soul level of 93, Lin Moyu's attributes also reached the level of 93. His mental power broke through the 5 million mark, increasing by more than 70%. The powerful mental power greatly increased the spell's power. Lin Moyu continuously cast Bone Fangs. There were too many enemies in the city. He just needed to sweep and sweep again. Bone Fangs, driven by 5 million mental power, exploded into more than 200,000, covering a large area. The speed was so fast it was invisible to the naked eye. Even with the soul power of level 93, Lin Moyu could only see faint traces. The space seemed to be cut by a sharp blade, not broken but leaving countless marks. The attack of Bone Fangs was infinitely close to level 96. Even a level 95 Dragon King would be in a sorry state facing Bone Fangs. The dragon soldiers who had just taken to the sky fell like raindrops. White bones appeared on their bodies. Bone Prison, accompanied by Bone Fangs, exploded, binding them tightly. Lin Moyu stood in the air, sweeping the entire city indiscriminately. Experience notifications popped up like raindrops, and soul power continuously flowed in, converting into the experience needed for leveling up. If anyone saw this scene, their eyes would pop out. No one had ever leveled up like this, using the Dragon Clan cities as his leveling ground, treating the Dragon Clan world as a dungeon. Dragon warriors were elite monsters, Dragon Kings were bosses. Naturally, the Dragon Emperor was the final boss of this dungeon. In just a few minutes, the city suffered heavy casualties. Concentrate and strengthen troops both had the effect of absorbing enemy souls to enhance one's own soul level. Although the effect was not strong, Lin Moyu killed too many. His soul level took a step forward, gradually reaching the limit of level 93. Dragon roars echoed in the sky, and the Dragon Emperor rushed over from afar.
Lin Moyu, you deserve to die.
730. Chapter 730. Lin Moyu, you're dead.
You came too late.
Lin Moyu chuckled softly. When he was still 10,000 meters away, he pointed at the Dragon Emperor. The Dragon Emperor's voice abruptly stopped, and he appeared dazed. The bone prison appeared on the Dragon Emperor. Then white light exploded, and bone fangs erupted. The Dragon Emperor roared angrily, his entire body exuding a terrifying aura of laws, blocking the attack of the bone fangs. However, Lin Moyu's attack was too sudden, catching the Dragon Emperor off guard, causing him to suffer minor injuries. His scales shattered, and his hair was disheveled, making him look very embarrassed. Lin Moyu used 5 million mental power, combined with the additional 500% damage from strengthened troops, but could only cause minor injuries to the Dragon Emperor. The lack of laws was a significant disadvantage. It was effective against the Dragon Kings but fell short against the half-step Transcendent Dragon Emperor. With one strike, Lin Moyu understood the limits of his skills. He grinned at the Dragon King and waved his hand. The undead wings flapped, and Lin Moyu instantly disappeared without a trace. The Dragon King's pupils shrank sharply, losing sight of Lin Moyu again.
Lin Moyu, you bastard, you coward, you damn bastard.
The Dragon Emperor roared in fury, but Lin Moyu had already left, thousands of miles away. Soul power continuously supplied the undead wings, pushing their speed to the limit. In just a few seconds, he flew over 10,000 kilometers, almost crossing the entire Dragon Clan world. Lin Moyu, at an astonishing speed, arrived at another city. He had no specific target, nor did he need one. He was here to massacre the city, to avenge the blood feud of the human race from 1,000 years ago. The domain god stone continuously rotated, absorbing the killing intent. Without the disturbance of killing intent, Lin Moyu could always remain calm. Facing the Dragon Emperor, he had no intention of fighting, retreating after one strike. Relying on the advantage of the undead wings, he severed the soul lock, traveled thousands of miles in an instant, and sought a new city. The new city was not large, and there were not many dragons living inside. However, in Lin Moyu's view, this city had a large number of dragon soldiers.
This is a military city.
Lin Moyu said softly, appearing above the city. In the next second, terrifying white light enveloped the entire city, filled with the aura of death. Bone fangs, with a sharp whistling sound, swept through the entire city. Huge buildings collapsed one after another, pierced by bone fangs as if they were made of tofu. Even hiding 10 meters underground was useless. The ground was riddled with holes, and the Dragon Clan's defenses collapsed almost instantly. A large amount of soul power surged in, quickly replenishing the consumed energy. 2 minutes later, a massive aura appeared in the distant sky.
This time, they came quickly.
Lin Moyu sensed the Dragon Emperor's aura from afar. At the same time, a law shot towards him from tens of thousands of meters away. The law was fast, but Lin Moyu was faster. The undead wings flapped, instantly severing the soul lock, and he disappeared without a trace. The law missed its target, hitting nothing. The stone law, carrying immense power, fell like a meteor, flattening a small mountain in the distance. The Dragon Emperor was nearly driven mad with rage. Looking at the devastated city, he roared furiously. Although the death of a few dragons meant nothing to him, the Dragon Clan world was neither too big nor too small, with tens of millions of dragons living in it. The death of hundreds of thousands, or even millions, did not pose a threat to the Dragon Clan. However, no matter how many dragons there were, they couldn't withstand Lin Moyu's continuous slaughter. The news of Lin Moyu's city massacres had spread throughout the Dragon Clan. If this continued, it would inevitably lead to the collapse of the Dragon Clan's morale. The Dragon Emperor, filled with unwillingness, roared angrily, but it was to no avail. His eyes changed, as if he had made a significant decision. He tightly gripped the transcendent-level giant axe and then raised it high, chanting in a low voice,
"The Dragon Clan is in trouble. Please, ancestors, descend. The Dragon Clan is in trouble. Please, ancestors, descend. The Dragon Clan is in trouble. Please, ancestors, descend."
The Dragon Emperor repeated this phrase, his bloodline burning fiercely, and the divine dragon shadow outside his body became more solid. The giant axe lit up with complex lines appearing on it. These lines formed a formation. The Dragon Emperor activated the formation with his bloodline, his face turning pale. Activating the formation required a large amount of bloodline, causing significant harm to the Dragon Emperor. The formation was finally completed, projecting brilliant light. Within the light, a giant dragon appeared. A giant dragon with a cyan body, identical to the elemental dragon Lin Moyu had seen before. It exuded the aura of laws with a strong personal will within the laws. This was a strong being who had integrated the laws into himself. The giant dragon seemed to be sleeping. Hearing the Dragon Emperor's call, it lazily opened its eyes and glanced at the Dragon Emperor.
"Mixed blood dragon?"
The words were filled with disdain. The term,
"Mixed blood dragon,"
deeply stung the Dragon Emperor. But the Dragon Emperor did not dare to act out. Instead, he bowed and said in a low voice,
"Greetings, my lord. Speak, what is it?"
The elemental dragon still looked lazy, with a look of disdain for the Dragon Emperor. The Dragon Emperor swallowed his anger.
"A freak has appeared here, posing a great threat to our Dragon Clan." "A freak? How freakish?"
The elemental dragon seemed slightly interested, but only slightly. The Dragon Emperor said,
"He is an 81 level human." "What?" An 81 level human?
The elemental dragon exclaimed, his words filled with even more disdain. What use could an 81 level human be? He could kill him with a single breath. The elemental dragon said lightly,
Although you are just a mixed blood dragon, you are still a half-step transcendent. Moreover, with the giant dragon axe, you can exert power infinitely close to the transcendent level. And yet, you can't defeat an 81 level human. What a waste. You have no right to ask for help.
The term,
Mixed blood dragon,
stung the Dragon Emperor again. The Dragon Emperor took a deep breath.
It's not that I can't defeat him, it's that he won't fight me. He has a skill that is very fast and can sever soul locks. He keeps changing cities, massacring them. Every time I catch up, he escapes.
The elemental dragon laughed heartily.
Such a thing actually exists.
The Dragon Emperor said,
Please, my lord, help me eliminate him. We have been fighting for the clan leader. Even as cannon fodder, we have been diligent.
The elemental dragon impatiently waved his hand.
All right, I understand. I'll give you something that should solve your problem.
The Dragon Emperor was overjoyed.
Thank you, my lord.
Although he didn't know the level of the being in front of him, or even his name, the Dragon Emperor knew he was definitely stronger than himself. The form of the giant dragon was his lifelong second goal. The first goal was, of course, to revert to the ancestral dragon form. But he also knew that reverting to the ancestral dragon form was impossible. At most, he could evolve into an elemental dragon. To evolve into an elemental dragon, he had to go to the dragon transformation pool. To go to the dragon transformation pool, he needed enough merit. He came here with the task of eliminating the human race, to seize this world for his race, to earn merit. That way, he could enter the dragon transformation pool, not only having the chance to evolve into an elemental dragon but also stepping into the transcendent level. 1,000 years ago, the human race and demons joined forces to block his path. 1,000 years later, Lin Moyu blocked his path again. And now, even if he completed the task after seeking help, his merit would be greatly reduced. For whatever reason, he had already hated Lin Moyu to the bone. He wouldn't be satisfied until he ground Lin Moyu's bones to dust. The formation on the giant dragon axe was still operating, and a round, jade-like bead emerged from the formation. The bead looked somewhat similar to Antares' dragon pearl. The abyssal demons liked to use magic stones, while the dragon clan preferred dragon pearls. Of course, these were not real dragon pearls, but special materials crafted to resemble dragon pearls. The Dragon Emperor held the dragon pearl, and as soul power surged into it, he immediately understood its function. This dragon pearl, called the space-locking pearl, contained a formation that could lock space, enough to trap a half-step transcendent. Once trapped, it would be difficult to escape. The Dragon Emperor's face showed a cold smile, filled with killing intent.
Lin Moyu, you're dead.
731, 731. Chapter 731. How can such a hybrid dragon be worthy? Lin Moyu once again found a city. Lin Moyu discovered that the news of his arrival at the Dragon Clan city had spread. The defensive formations of each city had already been activated, and the Dragon Clan people in the city were on high alert. Lin Moyu looked up and saw a large number of Dragon Clan soldiers on the city walls, as well as warships that had already taken to the sky. The formation formed a shield, covering the entire city. He did not sense the presence of a Dragon King. This was another city without a Dragon King. The repair of the Staff of Creation was nearing completion, and if he could get some more dragon crystals, it would be fully restored. Although there were many Dragon Kings among the Dragon Clan, not every city had one. It could only be considered his bad luck not to encounter one. Lin Moyu estimated that now even the Dragon Kings would not dare to trouble him. He had killed high-level Dragon Kings, and even if ordinary Dragon Kings came in groups, they would just be delivering themselves to him. With a thought, the sky instantly turned dark. Clouds churned in the sky, as if another world had descended, appearing intermittently within the clouds. From the clouds, countless undead legions emerged. Skeletal dragons roared, spewing dragon breath onto the formation. Headless knights charged recklessly at the formation, causing it to twist and deform. Skeletal berserkers and skeletal mages attacked simultaneously. Skeletal archers at the rear had already drawn their bows, their souls locked onto the dragons behind the formation. When the formation shattered, they would launch a deadly attack. The dragon clan people in the city turned pale, with the timid ones already scared out of their wits, sitting on the ground trembling. Even the brave ones looked as if they were facing a great calamity, their expressions extremely grim. This scene was indeed terrifying. The formation could only hold for a moment, and not even that. The magic crystals in the city were operating at full capacity, but the formation was rapidly deforming under the attack, on the verge of collapse. All the city's attack methods had been deployed, but these attacks had little effect on the undead legion. The number of undead was overwhelming, making people feel utterly hopeless. In just over a minute, the formation shattered like glass. The skeletal archers, who had been waiting, simultaneously took action. Skill, soul shot, waves of invisible arrows fell on the dragon clan people, exploding within their souls. Many dragons died silently, their eyes wide open in extreme pain. The damage to the soul was far more painful than imagined. Dragon breath enveloped the entire city, and countless dragons screamed and fell in the dragon breath, their flesh and bones disintegrating, their souls burning, leaving only white bones. Many dragons never imagined that they would one day die in dragon breath. Massacre. Lin Moyu looked solemnly at the tragic scene in the city, without a trace of sympathy or pity. Compared to the bloodshed the human race had once endured, killing this many dragons was nothing. It wasn't even considered interest. Lin Moyu felt neither pity nor hatred. At this moment he was extremely calm and rational. He knew what he was doing and what he should do. If possible, he would wipe out the dragon clan, leaving none behind. As invaders, they had to be prepared to be annihilated. There would be no prisoners. The human race did not need prisoners. The dragon clan's resistance was futile. The outcome was already determined when Lin Moyu arrived. 2 minutes later, a massive presence was felt from afar. The Dragon Emperor had arrived. From the moment Lin Moyu appeared to the Dragon Emperor's arrival, it had only been 5 minutes. The Dragon Emperor was fast, but still a step too late. Lin Moyu saw the Dragon Emperor from afar and felt a soul lock. At the same time, he saw that the Dragon Emperor seemed to be holding a ball of light. This light gave Lin Moyu a sense of danger. Instinctively, Lin Moyu wanted to leave, his soul power surging, the wings of the undead vibrating, cutting off the soul lock. But to his surprise, he found himself still in place. The space seemed to become extremely sticky, making it impossible for him to move. Not only him, but the undead legion was also affected. All the collapsing buildings and various debris were suspended in midair. It wasn't time that had stopped, but the space seemed to have an extra layer of glue, sticking everything in place. The Dragon Emperor's mad laughter echoed in his ears.
Lin Moyu, you're dead.
The Dragon Emperor rushed over, and Lin Moyu noticed that its speed was also affected, but much less than his own. The ball in the Dragon Emperor's hand emitted a hazy light, enveloping it.
It's that ball.
Lin Moyu instinctively felt that the current situation was caused by the ball in the Dragon Emperor's hand. This ball, which looked like a dragon pearl, continuously emitted light, with formation patterns on it. At the same time, it exuded a strong aura of laws, seemingly stronger than the Dragon Emperor itself.
Is this a new acquisition?
Lin Moyu speculated that if the Dragon Emperor had always had this ball, it would have used it long ago, not waited until now. Lin Moyu's soul moved, and a purple divine thunder shot out. His body was difficult to move, but it didn't prevent him from releasing the divine thunder. The purple divine thunder, infused with the laws of thunder, also slowed down in the space, flying at a visible speed. The Dragon Emperor easily dodged the divine thunder.
Stop struggling, you're dead.
As it spoke, it raised its giant dragon axe, its eyes filled with bloodlust, and swung it at Lin Moyu. The giant dragon axe carried immense power, accompanied by the Dragon Emperor's Law of Stone, descending mightily. Suddenly, Lin Moyu disappeared. Along with him, the undead legion also vanished. The giant dragon axe struck empty air again. The immense power landed in the city, causing a loud boom. Due to the formation, the space was solidified, and the city collapsed at an extremely slow speed. First, cracks appeared, then it slowly exploded. The whole process was like a slow-motion scene slowed down hundreds of times. The Dragon Emperor was stunned. Lin Moyu had disappeared again.
This is impossible. How could he escape?
The Dragon Emperor was going crazy. It was one thing for him to escape before, but this time the space was solidified. How could Lin Moyu still escape? It was unreasonable, too unreasonable. The light of the dragon pearl in its hand gradually dimmed, and the formation covering the vast land disappeared. The space instantly returned to normal. The entire city completely collapsed. The Dragon Emperor's full-force strike, infinitely close to a super-god level, leveled the entire city. The remaining dragons in the city also died in this strike. The Dragon Emperor confirmed that Lin Moyu was no longer there and roared in madness again. Its scales stood on end, and a phantom of a divine dragon appeared behind it, roaring continuously. The sound echoed through half of the dragon clan's world. Antares looked at Lin Moyu with a smile.
How does it feel to escape death?
Seeing Lin Moyu suffer, he was very happy.
No feeling, I'm used to it.
Lin Moyu was indeed used to dying. He didn't even know how many times he had died. Even if the Dragon Emperor's axe had fallen, it wouldn't have killed him. So he wasn't afraid at all. However, Lin Moyu felt that being a target was meaningless, so he activated Antares' dragon scale and left directly. Lin Moyu frowned.
What was that in the Dragon Emperor's hand?
He knew Antares must have seen it. Antares said,
That was a formation pearl.
Formation pearl? Lin Moyu didn't understand. Antares explained,
A formation pearl contains a recorded formation that can be activated with soul power to directly set up the formation.
Lin Moyu asked,
Was the formation just now a space formation? Nonsense. How could a hybrid dragon like it be worthy?
732. Chapter 732. The vast world, you speak of silence. Antares was full of disdain. Lin Moyu felt that he might have indeed overestimated the Dragon Emperor. A mere half-step supergod. How could he possibly touch the pinnacle of space laws? Antares said,
It only used the formation within the formation pearl to solidify the space. There are many laws that can achieve this, such as the laws of water, gravity, etc. The distance to the space laws is still unknown. And this guy's formation pearl was borrowed from someone else.
Lin Moyu asked curiously,
Borrowed from someone? Is it strange?
Antares retorted,
It's not strange at all. They are just hybrid dragons, like abyssal demons, all cannon fodder. As cannon fodder, if they can't win, they ask for help from above. What's so strange about that?
Lin Moyu asked.
Lilian said that the abyssal demons are backed by the demon race. The Dragon Emperor should be backed by the dragon race. Isn't that your clan?
Antares denied Lin Moyu's words.
What you said is not very accurate. In fact, Lilian only knows a small part.
Lin Moyu looked at Antares with bright eyes.
I would like to hear more. Seeing that you are sincerely asking, this dragon will mercifully tell you. The demon race has two major branches, the hell demons and the abyssal demons. Besides these, there are some smaller branches, which are not worth mentioning. Lilian belongs to the abyssal demons, but she is also just cannon fodder, born and raised in the fragment world. She has half human blood, and if discovered by orthodox demons, she would be dead. Our dragon race is even more complicated. First, we are graded by the strength of our bloodline, then divided into various factions. The hybrid dragons that came here belong to the elemental dragon faction. If we subdivide further, they belong to the rock dragon faction. Anyway, you will naturally understand these things when you reach the vast world. It's not a big secret.
Just listening, Lin Moyu felt the vastness of the great world. The dragon world spanning tens of thousands of kilometers and the abyssal world can only be considered fragment worlds. And his own world is a perfect world, but it is only a small world. According to Antares, his world is far from being so small, because he has not yet truly entered the great world, nor experienced the baptism of the great world's laws. It's like being in an egg that is still hatching. If he truly enters the great world, the entire small world structure will undergo a great change. From small to large, the entire world size will expand more than tenfold. Of course, while receiving benefits, he must also accept the cruelty of the great world. In the great world, there are many worlds where weak races live which are destroyed for various reasons. These reasons could be a strong person's experiment or the aftermath of a battle between strong individuals. The great world is both beautiful and dangerous. After understanding the cruelty and vastness of the great world, Lin Moyu was filled with anticipation for it. In the future, he must go out and take a good look to appreciate the scenery. Lin Moyu asked,
Is there a way to deal with the formation in the Dragon Emperor's hand? Just a broken formation. There are many ways to deal with it, as long as this dragon moves a finger. Stop!
Lin Moyu interrupted Antares' boasting.
I just asked, can you take action?
Antares shook his head.
It seems I can't, but if this dragon wants to break the agreement, I can forcefully take action. Then you said it for nothing. I just asked, do I have a way to deal with the formation?
Lin Moyu rolled his eyes, saying it for nothing. Antares shook his head.
Your strength is still a bit lacking. If you have half-step super god strength, you can use laws to counter it. Even if you can't completely offset the formation's impact, it would be enough for you to fight the Dragon Emperor on equal footing. Not like now, having no way at all, only able to escape.
This was also said for nothing. If he had half-step super god strength, he wouldn't need to go through so much trouble. He would have killed the Dragon Emperor long ago. Among peers, Lin Moyu has never been afraid of anyone, always taking the route of instant kills.
Is there no other way?
Lin Moyu asked. Antares tilted his head and thought.
No other good way. After all, this formation is of super god level, equivalent to the Dragon Emperor's giant dragon axe, and it just restrains you.
The Dragon Emperor is only a half-step super god, and such super god level equipment in its hands can only exert power infinitely close to super god level. As long as Lin Moyu reaches half-step super god, he can contend with it. Lin Moyu thought for a moment.
I still want to try again.
Antares was stunned.
You are really persistent. I have an idea. I want to try again. If it doesn't work, I will give up.
Antares was a bit helpless.
All right, then you try again.
It was not worried about Lin Moyu's safety. With its dragon scale, the formation couldn't trap Lin Moyu. Antares once again sent Lin Moyu into the dragon world. Lin Moyu concealed his breath, spread his undead wings, and flew towards the distance. Soon, a city appeared in his sight. A medium-sized city, not too big or too small, with not many dragons living in it. The city's formation was activated. Lin Moyu disappeared, but it didn't mean he left. The Dragon Emperor ordered all cities to be on alert, and to contact it immediately upon discovering Lin Moyu. The sky turned dark, and the undead army, carrying a destructive aura, rushed towards the city. The city's alarm sounded, and all the dragons saw the overwhelming undead army attacking. Their faces changed drastically, filled with extreme fear. The overwhelming undead army attacked the city's formation. In just over a minute, the formation was broken. Then came the bloody massacre. 2 minutes later, the Dragon Emperor appeared in the distance. The formation pearl in its hand flashed, and the formation was activated, instantly covering an area of hundreds of kilometers. The space became sticky, and everyone and everything seemed to be stuck in a quagmire, unable to move. But the Dragon Emperor was stunned. It did not see Lin Moyu. There was only the undead army, but no sign of Lin Moyu. While it was puzzled, the undead army also disappeared. The The Dragon Emperor stood in mid-air, a bit hesitant and puzzled. The city was half destroyed but not completely. Many dragons inside were still alive. Although severely injured, as long as they were not dead, they could be saved. A few minutes later, it received another message. Lin Moyu appeared in a large city thousands of kilometers away, attacking the city. The Dragon Emperor rushed over without thinking. When it arrived, the formation was already broken. Many buildings in the city had collapsed, and the skeletal dragons were spraying dragon breath wantonly. The dragons were screaming, constantly dying. The formation pearl was activated again, once again trapping the undead army, stopping the battle. But there was still no sign of Lin Moyu. Seconds later, the undead army disappeared under its nose, leaving only the devastated city.
Lin Moyu!
The Dragon Emperor's teeth were bleeding from the bite. It had guessed what Lin Moyu was doing. Lin Moyu hid himself, only letting the undead army attack, clearly avoiding a direct confrontation. While the Dragon Emperor was thinking of countermeasures, it received another message. Lin Moyu appeared again, attacking the previously breached small city. When the Dragon Emperor arrived, the half-destroyed small city was completely destroyed. The surviving dragons were also slaughtered. 733. Chapter 733. Guerrilla Tactics, the Power of Faith. Antares watched Lin Moyu intently, seeing through Lin Moyu's intentions. Lin Moyu was controlling the undead army from hundreds of kilometers away, commanding the undead army to attack, perfectly avoiding the Dragon Emperor, not directly confronting him. And after attacking another city, he would return, like cleaning up the remaining garbage, making it impossible to grasp his motives. Lin Moyu had no purpose, acting on a whim, attacking wherever he felt like. When the urge arose, he might travel tens of thousands of kilometers, or perhaps only 2,000 or 3,000 kilometers away. One city after another was attacked by Lin Moyu. The powerful defensive formations in the Dragon Clan cities could not withstand Lin Moyu's undead army for long. Once the formation shattered, a massacre would follow. And Lin Moyu, the master, never showed himself. For a time, the Dragon Clan's world was in an uproar, with all the dragons falling into panic.
For one person to terrify an entire world like this, these mixed-blood dragons are just trash. This kid is indeed ruthless in his killing, but this matter cannot be done in obscurity. Faith, one of the fundamental powers of the human race, may be of help to you.
Antares raised his paw, as if swatting a fly, and spat out a stream of laws. The laws merged into the heavens and earth, disappearing from sight. In the next second, numerous scenes suddenly appeared in the human world sky, like projections. These scenes covered almost every corner of the human world. The human world was vast, with a population exceeding 10 billion. But in fact, the land area inhabited by humans only occupied less than 10% of the entire world. At least 90% of the area was ocean. Now, Antares had used a secret technique to transmit Lin Moyu's actions to the human world. A hero should not remain obscure. A hero's deeds should be known to all.
The divine martial Lin is currently in the Dragon Clan's world, fighting for the human race.
Antares' voice, along with the scenes, spread throughout the entire human world. The scenes showed Lin Moyu controlling the undead army, attacking the Dragon Clan cities, one after another. Each time, a large number of dragons were killed. After watching for a while, people finally understood what Lin Moyu was doing. Instantly, the world was in an uproar. Who could have imagined that Lin Moyu would single-handedly enter the Dragon Clan's world, raiding their cities? This was an impossible event in human history, something no one dared to even imagine.
The divine martial Lin is actually slaughtering the Dragon Clan in their world. That's the Dragon Emperor, a truly formidable existence at the pinnacle. Isn't the divine martial Lin in great danger?
In Xiajing City, the Imperial Palace, the sovereign, Dongfang Yi, also saw the scenes and heard Antares' words. As the sovereign and a divine-level expert, he naturally knew much more information than ordinary people. In an instant, he analyzed the entire situation and made a rough guess. Immediately, several orders were issued from the imperial palace, spreading across the country at an astonishing speed. The Xia Empire began to operate with incredible efficiency. Information about the Dragon Clan began to spread widely.
It turns out that 1,000 years ago, the Dragon Clan had invaded our human world. The Dragon Clan had destroyed our cities and killed our people, with no less than tens of millions of deaths at the hands of the Dragon Clan's blades. The land of the human race was once stained red with blood, all because of the Dragon Clan.
For thousands of years, the Dragon Clan had been driven out, so the human race's hatred towards them was not deep. But now, after this propaganda, people realized that the Dragon Clan also carried a debt of blood. Countless cities had been destroyed one by one, with tens of millions of humans killed by the Dragon Clan's blades. And not only were they killed, but many humans also became food for the Dragon Clan, devoured alive. The hatred towards the Dragon Clan became truly profound at this moment. People began to understand Lin Moyu's actions. Even those who were initially dissatisfied with Lin Moyu's city-destroying actions now began to support him. This hatred could no longer be described as a debt of blood. It had reached the point where it was a matter of life and death for one side. The two sides had no possibility of reconciliation and no possibility of taking prisoners. If either side had the ability, they would undoubtedly put the other side to death. Only one side could survive while the other had to be annihilated. People were concerned for Lin Moyu, but they also supported him. Not everyone, but at least more than half of the human race supported Lin Moyu. Faith began to gather, coalescing into a mysterious power that was transmitted through the void to Lin Moyu. And Teres immediately sensed this power, muttering to himself,
"Truly a miraculous power. It is not a law, yet it can contend against laws. Truly miraculous. Why is it that our Dragon Clan cannot wield this power? What a pity. If our billions of dragons could be of one mind, how could it have come to this?"
And Teres sighed endlessly, his gaze filled with envy, but also some disappointment in his own clan. The power of faith was indeed miraculous. It was like the Flower Nation and the Cabbage Nation. Although their national strength was weak, and their people were somewhat shameless, they still possessed the power of faith. The God of ideals was a product of the power of faith. In the countless races of the great world, only a few possessed this power. And the ones who could truly wield this power were only the human race. Lin Moyu felt a warm current enter his body, as if he had been immersed in a hot spring, extremely comfortable. This warm current eventually gathered in his soul world, where the 9-colored dragon soul crystal devoured it, transforming it into an extremely pure soul power without any impurities, and spraying it onto Lin Moyu's soul body. For a time, his soul power and soul level both increased. Lin Moyu felt that he had moved a little closer to the 94th level. The soul power was then converted into a large amount of experience. Not long ago, he had just reached the 81st level. In just a few days, he was about to level up again. And Teres's voice suddenly rang out in his soul.
"How does the power of faith feel?"
Lin Moyu asked in surprise.
"The power of faith, isn't that something the God of ideals needs? You need to broaden your horizons. Your vision can't be too short-sighted. The power of faith is a good thing, and it is also one of the fundamental powers of your human race. You should contemplate it carefully. It is said that the power of faith is very miraculous, but on this point, I cannot help you."
There was a hint of envy in Antares' words. It truly could not help him. After all, the Dragon Clan did not possess the power of faith. Lin Moyu knew that Antares must have lent a hand.
"How did you do it?" "I just spread what you did in the Dragon Clan's world far and wide. After all, you've worked so hard, it wouldn't do for you to remain obscure. You don't want to be a behind-the-scenes manipulator, do you? There's also that kid called Dong Fangyi. He's quite clever and gave you a helping hand, a push in the right direction. Add to that you're already high prestige, and like this, everyone's reverence for you has been transformed into faith, becoming the power of faith."
It sounded reasonable, and that was indeed what happened. If Lin Moyu did not already have such high prestige among the human race, with the name of the divine marshal known to all, this would not have been so easy to achieve. So it was a natural progression, with Antares merely lending a hand, and Dongfang Yi providing a timely push, and the matter was accomplished. As for what benefits the power of faith could bring to Lin Moyu, only Lin Moyu himself knew. With a flap of his undead wings, Lin Moyu disappeared again. Hundreds of kilometers away, at the city that had already been battered, the undead army also vanished. The faint sound of the Dragon Emperor's furious roars could be heard. 734. Chapter 734. The Battle at the Dragon Clan's Imperial City. Lin Moyu continued his guerrilla tactics against the Dragon Clan according to his plan. Unable to locate Lin Moyu's true body, the Dragon Emperor had no choice but to order all Dragon Clan members to gather together. Only in this way could they curb Lin Moyu's guerrilla tactics. Apart from this, the Dragon Emperor couldn't think of any other good solutions. The Dragon Clan moved quickly, with teleportation arrays between each city. They swiftly converged towards the central imperial city of the Dragon Clan. Fortunately, the imperial city was large enough to accommodate all the Dragon Clan members without much issue. If it became too crowded, they could build outposts outside the imperial city. Lin Moyu arrived outside a city, looking puzzled. The formation was still running, but the city was already empty. Lin Moyu's eyes flickered slightly, guessing the Dragon Clan's strategy.
Not very clever, but quite practical. They should all be in the Imperial City.
Once the Dragon Clan gathered, Lin Moyu knew his guerrilla tactics would be rendered ineffective. His path to leveling up through the Dragon Clan was cut off. Checking his experience, he was already at level 81 with 95% experience, just 5% away from leveling up. Thinking about it, he felt somewhat unwilling.
Just 5% more. I'll get it from the Imperial City. One last battle. Let's see if I can kill a few more Dragon Kings.
The Staff of Creation was almost fully repaired, which was another reason Lin Moyu didn't want to give up besides leveling up. Lin Moyu flew towards the center of the Dragon Clan's world, where the Dragon Clan's Imperial City and the Dragon Emperor's Palace were located. The power of faith continued to flow in, gathering into a warm current. His soul level was gradually improving, slowly but steadily. The feeling was as solid as the 9-colored Dragon Soul crystal.
Besides the improvement of the soul, I haven't found any other uses for the power of faith. Since it is one of the fundamental powers of the human race, it should have more uses.
Lin Moyu knew that the human race Antares mentioned referred to the human race in the Great World. In the Great World, the human race was also a major race, not inferior to the Demon Dragon Clan. Since the power of faith could become one of the fundamental powers of a race, it must have its extraordinary aspects. While Lin Moyu was flying, the human world was already in an uproar.
The Dragon Clan cities are empty. Where did the Dragon Clan go? It seems Lin Moyu knows their direction. I get it. The Dragon Clan must be afraid of Lin Moyu's tactics and have gathered together, not daring to scatter anymore. Haha, Lin Moyu alone can force the Dragon Clan into such a state. Lin Moyu is awesome. Oh my, look, so many dragons. What a magnificent city. The giant dragon statue in the center must be at least several thousand meters high. This should be the Dragon Clan's Imperial City.
A terrifying scene appeared in the images. Tens of millions of Dragon Clan members gathered in one city. Inside and outside the city, in the sky and on the ground, were all Dragon Clan members. Millions of dragons surrounded the entire city, building outposts outside, clearly preparing for a long-term stay. As long as Lin Moyu was alive, they wouldn't dare to return. Returning would mean being defeated one by one. Lin Moyu arrived outside the Dragon Clan's Imperial City, concealing his aura and hiding tens of kilometers away. The Dragon Clan's Imperial City had stood in the Dragon Clan's world for over 1,000 years. It was an incredibly magnificent city with exquisite buildings. A giant dragon statue, at least 3,000 meters high, stood in the center of the city. The statue resembled the Dragon Emperor. No, it wasn't just a resemblance, it was exactly the Dragon Emperor. Lin Moyu couldn't help but sneer.
Quite narcissistic.
Lin Moyu observed the Dragon Clan's imperial city from a distance. There was no formation in the imperial city. He didn't know if it wasn't activated or if there wasn't one at all. Lin Moyu didn't even see a single magic crystal. It was probably due to overconfidence. But thinking about it, if someone could attack the imperial city, what use would a mere defensive formation be? Now, the Dragon Clan had been forced to this point, and the formation could only delay time, nothing more. Lin Moyu maintained a distance of tens of kilometers, hiding in the dark, circling the imperial city to observe the situation. After several confrontations, he had obtained a lot of information about formations through the undead army. Many times, he had secretly dispersed the undead army, deliberately placing many undead troops far from the battlefield, thus measuring the range of the formation's coverage. After repeated tests, Lin Moyu had analyzed that the formation's coverage range was exactly 100 kilometers. Lin Moyu saw the Dragon Emperor in the Imperial City, sitting on a throne on the giant dragon statue in the center. As long as he left the 50-kilometer range from the Dragon Emperor, he could avoid the formation. The Imperial City itself had a diameter of over 40 kilometers. The formation covered the Imperial City and only affected an area 10 kilometers outside the city. Lin Moyu began to plan his attack. Antares projected the image of the Dragon Clan's Imperial City to the world. All humans saw this scene and worried for Lin Moyu.
Lin Moyu won't be in danger, will he? There are tens of millions of dragons here. Not just that, look at the sky. That's the Dragon Emperor. It looks terrifying. There are many Dragon Kings beside the Dragon Emperor. The Dragon Clan's Dragon Kings are more numerous than our divine-level experts. Lin Moyu, be careful! Lin Moyu, if it doesn't work, retreat. You've already embarrassed the Dragon Clan enough. Yes, you've done enough. You're not alone. We can fight with you.
Countless people silently prayed for Lin Moyu, and some were filled with fighting spirit, wanting to join Lin Moyu in a bloody battle with the Dragon Clan. The human race's faith was reignited, their spirit undiminished, fearless in battle. Lin Moyu circled twice, having a rough plan in mind. He began to retreat, retreating over 100 kilometers, completely disappearing from the Dragon Clan's sight. Then the undead army appeared. Following his will, the undead army spread out, forming a large circle with a diameter of 200 kilometers, surrounding the Imperial City. Lin Moyu himself remained hidden 100 kilometers away, controlling the battle through the vision of the undead army. Since reaching level 70 and completing the third transformation, his control distance over the undead army had no limit. Perhaps there was still a limit, but at least so far he hadn't found it. Even hundreds of kilometers apart, he could control them freely. There was an invisible connection between them, difficult to sever by laws or formations. Even if the undead army was trapped by a formation filled with laws, Lin Moyu only needed a thought to recall them with no difficulty. The undead army was in position. Lin Moyu took a deep breath. Soul power flowed slowly. This was a battle belonging only to the undead army, with him as the hidden commander. The undead army moved. 400 skeletal dragons swooped down from the sky, followed by headless knights, and then the skeletal army. Several elemental liches were also in the ranks, adding auras to the team, increasing their damage. The elemental liches' auras were generally effective against dragon warriors, but very effective against dragons below level 70. Lin Moyu divided the undead army surrounding the Imperial City into 10 groups, evenly distributing the numbers. Each group had about 30,000. The first to act were the 4 groups on the east and south sides of the Imperial City. The alarms sounded through the sky. All the Dragon Clan's attention focused on the undead army.
They really dared to come.
The Dragon Emperor suddenly stood up from the throne, killing intent rising. For a moment, the sky was filled with swirling clouds, revealing a giant dragon's shadow. 735, 735. Chapter 735. The Endless Undead Army. The Dragon Emperor had not yet truly acted. merely igniting his bloodline to form a divine dragon phantom, which already caused a huge commotion. Lin Moyu's entire human world was silent at this moment. Everyone was dumbfounded watching this scene. The divine dragon phantom looked incredibly powerful, making everyone feel so small. Not to mention ordinary people, even high-level god-class experts like Meng Anwen felt a shiver in their hearts when they saw the divine dragon phantom. They felt an oppressive force at the soul level. A half-step supergod begins to grasp and absorb laws, which is much stronger than high-level god class. The difference of one level is like the difference between heaven and earth.
Xiao Yu, be careful.
Meng Anwen also broke into a sweat for Lin Moyu. The current situation was different from the abyss. At that time, they were only facing the Dragon Emperor, but now there were so many Dragon Clan members. Although the undead army was strong, facing tens of millions of Dragon Clan warriors was too small. The undead army charging towards the Dragon Emperor looked more like a suicide squad. The Dragon Emperor let out a roar, and the Dragon Clan immediately moved. At least 1 million Dragon Clan members moved, although their levels were not as high as the level 81 undead army. Even if they were of the same level, the Dragon Clan warriors could not compare to the bone dragons that were infinitely close to god level. But the Dragon Clan had too many members. The Dragon Clan moved like a storm, swallowing the undead army. This time, Lin Moyu was at a numerical disadvantage. This was a situation Lin Moyu had anticipated and calculated, so there was no surprise.
What use is a large number if you are afraid of death?
No one understood that the most terrifying aspect of the undead army was that they had no fear, no pain, and no fear of death. Even if they fought to the last member, they would not collapse. Unlike the Dragon Clan, once the casualties were too high, they would definitely collapse. Lin Moyu's mouth curled up slightly, his eyes filled with a cold smile.
Come on, let you taste the terror of the undead army.
No one noticed that the undead army was not moving fast. As a result, the Dragon Clan's battle line was stretched. Millions of Dragon Clan members left the Imperial City, swarming from all directions, like a giant mouth swallowing the undead army. Before the two sides even made contact, various auras took effect. Many Dragon Clan members inexplicably caught fire. Lightning roared, and bolts of lightning fell from the sky. Ice layers formed on the Dragon Clan members, slowing them down. The auras were not very powerful, as the items Lin Moyu used to summon the elemental liches were of low level. But they were still effective against low-level Dragon Clan members. The bone dragons simultaneously breathed dragon breath, burning large numbers of Dragon Clan warriors. The bone mages and bone archers also attacked, with elements exploding like fireworks and soul attacks silently extinguishing souls. As soon as they made contact, the Dragon Clan suffered heavy casualties. The Dragon Clan warriors went crazy, attacking wildly. Under the full connection talent, the damage to the undead army was distributed among all members. In the attack, all the undead army members took average damage. Even the hidden bone dragons and bone mages were also taking damage. The Lich generals continuously healed, showing the undead army's unimaginable resilience. The Dragon Clan's death toll kept rising, but the undead army did not lose a single member. Corpses fell like rain, covering the ground and piling up like mountains in no time. The Dragon Emperor did not expect the undead army to be so powerful. He had never fought the undead army directly, always dealing with Lin Moyu himself. He had never taken the undead army seriously. Now, upon contact, he realized the undead army's strength exceeded his expectations. The Dragon Emperor held the formation pearl, seemingly ready to act. But he did not move, hesitating before stopping. He gave an order, and a high-level Dragon King beside him responded, rushing towards the battlefield. A high-level Dragon King was enough to deal with the undead army. Without finding Lin Moyu, he could not act. The high-level Dragon King moved quickly, carrying laws with him. In no time, he joined the battle. His body was engulfed in flames, clearly comprehending the fire element laws. The fire waves rolled in, consuming large numbers of the undead army. The undead army suffered its first casualties, as the attack exceeded the skeleton's endurance limit. rendering the full connection talent ineffective. The dead skeletons were instantly resurrected in the summoning space. Using the undead army alone to deal with high-level Dragon Clan members was too difficult, almost impossible. But it did not matter. It was just one death, causing no damage to the undead army. Lin Moyu's mind moved, and the undead army scattered, avoiding the high-level Dragon King, especially the bone dragons, who breathed dragon breath at the Dragon Clan warriors, targeting the densest areas. The undead army did the same, avoiding the high-level Dragon King and targeting the weaker Dragon Clan warriors. The high-level Dragon King continuously spread flames, exterminating the undead army. Minutes later, the 4 groups of undead army, totaling about 120,000, were finally wiped out. Even with the high-level Dragon King's intervention, tens of thousands of Dragon Clan members died. The Dragon Emperor looked towards the southeast, guessing that Lin Moyu might be hiding there. After all, the undead army came from there. Just as the thought arose, undead armies appeared simultaneously from the northwest. The numbers and scale were identical to before, charging towards the Imperial City. This time, the Dragon Emperor gave up on finding Lin Moyu. He knew Lin Moyu must be hiding, impossible to find easily. Since he could not find Lin Moyu, he decided to eliminate the undead army first. With a command, the Dragon Clan army charged again. He still could not act, as he could not determine Lin Moyu's location. The formation's range was limited, unable to cover the entire area. If he acted, there would be a gap which would become Lin Moyu's attack point. Moreover, as the Dragon Emperor, how could he lower himself to personally deal with these weak cannon fodder? He had to maintain his dignity. Lin Moyu wanted this effect. Another high-level Dragon King flew out, rushing towards the battlefield. The Dragon Clan indeed had many Dragon Kings, but only 4 high-level Dragon Kings, the same number as high-level demons. 2 had been killed by Lin Moyu, leaving 2. 1 high-level Dragon King returned to the city, ready to rest. The undead army reappeared in the east and south, identical in number and scale. The Dragon Emperor's eyes narrowed, and he said in a deep voice,
"You go."
The high-level Dragon King who had just returned responded and charged out. The battle lines spread in all directions around the Imperial City. The undead army continued to ignore the high-level Dragon Kings, targeting the Dragon Clan members. The high-level Dragon Kings were indeed strong, wielding laws and killing the undead as easily as drinking water. But there was only one, and the undead army was scattered, taking time to kill them all. During this time, the undead army could cause significant damage to the Dragon Clan warriors. Lin Moyu summoned the resurrected undead, sending them back to their original positions, waiting for the next wave of attacks. The battle was under his control, with the undead army able to attack from various directions. The death rate was not fast, relying on the passive skill of the Undying Undead. The skill allowed the undead army to die 3 times within 5 minutes. The skill would reset every 5 minutes, granting 3 more deaths. At the current death rate, the undead army was almost immortal. The undead army was killed wave after wave, but reappeared wave after wave, seemingly endless. The Dragon Emperor frowned.
"Why can't these undead monsters be killed?"
736. Chapter 736. The Dragon Emperor is about to be driven crazy by Lin Moyu. And Terry secretly laughed out loud.
A mixed-blood dragon is a mixed-blood dragon. They just can't figure it out. This kid Lin Moyu's skills are too monstrous. You can't even imagine. The entire rhythm of the battle is completely under his control. You just wait to be slowly ground down.
Antares watched the entire battle intently, as it was deeply aware of Lin Moyu's skills. Based on the current pace of the battle, even if it continued for another year or 2, the undead army would not suffer any casualties. Lin Moyu was taking advantage of the time difference, utilizing the resurrection feature of his skills, to fight in separate batches. He firmly grasped the rhythm of the battle, ensuring that the undead army did not suffer any casualties at all. In contrast, the Dragon Clan had already suffered over 100,000 casualties in just a few clashes. A large number of dragon deaths were converted into a vast amount of experience. Lin Moyu was enveloped in a white glow, officially reaching level 82. His soul power increased significantly once again.
I can move the skill nuclei again. Time to show off again.
Lin Moyu smiled faintly. He knew that he would gain 2 more star-level skill nuclei. The skill nuclei would become stars, transforming ordinary skills into star-level spells. Although they could not carry laws, they would still be much stronger than ordinary skills. Moreover, Lin Moyu looked forward to seeing if he could form multi-star spells. As long as he could reach 5-star spells, even without carrying laws, the spells would become extremely powerful. The more this battle dragged on, the more the Dragon Emperor felt that something was amiss. The Dragon Clan's casualties were increasing, no matter how he arranged things. Even if the Dragon Clan did not attack and only the high-level Dragon Kings took action, it was useless. These undead would bypass the Dragon Kings, charging recklessly towards them without fear of death. The Dragon Emperor had wanted to take action several times but held back. Once the formation was activated, the only one who could move within the formation would be him. The undead army trapped within the formation would have to be dealt with by him personally. This did not seem like a good solution, but if he did not take action, the Dragon Clan's casualties would only increase. By now, not only one high-level Dragon King was in action, but several other Dragon Kings had also joined the fray. Yet they still could not completely stop the undead army from attacking the ordinary Dragon Clan members. The undead army was like waves, one after another, endlessly surging forth.
I must find Lin Moyu.
The Dragon Emperor thought to himself, issuing orders for all the Dragon Kings to deal with the undead army, minimizing casualties among the ordinary Dragon Clan members as much as possible. It would then swiftly fly out to search for Lin Moyu's whereabouts. It knew that Lin Moyu would not be too far away. He must be nearby. As soon as the Dragon Emperor moved, the smile on Lin Moyu's face grew more pronounced.
Finally willing to take action.
The Dragon Emperor did not find Lin Moyu's location on the first try, but halfway through, it saw a few skeletons. Upon seeing the skeletons, the Dragon Emperor immediately understood.
So that's how it is.
It realized why the undead army was surging in from all directions. It was all Lin Moyu's deliberate doing, intentionally letting the undead army reach predetermined positions before launching attacks, in order to conceal his own location. The Dragon Emperor felt that it had grasped Lin Moyu's plan and followed the direction the skeletons had come from in reverse, believing Lin Moyu should be there without a doubt. But the result was still a disappointment. At this moment, Lin Moyu's figure suddenly appeared above the Imperial City. 2 level 93 skeleton kings manifested in mid-air. The spells Mighty Force and Concentration were simultaneously activated, pushing all stats to their peak. Lin Moyu and the skeleton kings swung their long swords together, simultaneously unleashing Soul Cleaver on the ordinary Dragon Kings. 3 sword beams flashed, instantly killing several ordinary Dragon Kings. The entire process was smooth and extremely fast. Before the Dragon Kings had even died, the nearby skeletons had already moved to collect the Dragon Crystals. Lin Moyu pointed his finger at the nearest high-level Dragon King. Purple Thunderstrike instantly emerged. Not just one, but 3 consecutive ones. The purple Thunderstrikes carrying half-step Super-God level attacks fell, turning an area of thousands of meters into a sea of lightning. That high-level Dragon King was struck, letting out a miserable scream as it was instantly blasted into ashes. In the blink of an eye, Lin Moyu flapped his undead wings, arriving beside the high-level Dragon King and snatching away its Dragon Crystal. The skeletons had also extracted the Dragon Crystals, and Lin Moyu swiftly stored all the Dragon Crystals in his spatial storage at the fastest possible speed. This entire process took only 1 second, with Lin Moyu's movements reaching the pinnacle of speed, as if he had rehearsed it countless times. Indeed, Lin Moyu had simulated this process countless times in his mind. Just as he finished, space suddenly became viscous. All movements came to a halt.
Lin Moyu, you're dead.
The Dragon Emperor charged over in a frenzy, raising its giant dragon axe to strike. Lin Moyu revealed a cold smile, as there were still a large number of Dragon Clan members behind him, as well as the Dragon Clan's Imperial City. This axe strike would likely kill tens of thousands of dragons, and half of the Imperial City would be destroyed. The Dragon Emperor had clearly lost its rationality, only wanting to kill Lin Moyu at this moment. Who could have imagined that in the very instant Lin Moyu left, taking just 1 second, the Dragon Clan would pay an unimaginable and horrific price. The Dragon Emperor realized that it had been tricked by Lin Moyu. All of Lin Moyu's previous actions were actually to lure it out. Yet it had been completely oblivious, truly falling for the trap. In that 1 second of leaving, the Dragon Clan had suffered losses beyond comprehension. Now, the Dragon Emperor's mind was filled with only one thought: to kill Lin Moyu, to tear him into shreds. Seeing the nearly crazed Dragon Emperor, Lin Moyu's soul stirred, activating Antares' dragon scale. The Dragon Emperor's attack once again lost its target, and its immense law power struck down. There were indeed a large number of Dragon Clan members behind Lin Moyu, all of whom were obliterated by the law power. The giant axe then struck the Imperial City. A large portion of the Imperial City collapsed into ruins. The Dragon Emperor's eyes were bleeding, standing in mid-air. It knew that Lin Moyu had escaped again, vanishing without a trace. Just like before, he had left in a way the Dragon Emperor did not understand. The Dragon Emperor let out another maddened roar, roaring endlessly. But no matter how loudly it roared, even if it shattered the heavens, it was all in vain. Amidst the roars, the Dragon Emperor swung its axe again and again, slashing through space and creating black cracks. This scene, witnessed by all the human race, made it seem as if the Dragon Emperor had truly gone insane, about to be driven crazy by Lin Moyu. The projection ended here, disappearing along with Lin Moyu's departure.
Lin the deity is too awesome. I feel like the Dragon Emperor is about to go crazy. This time, the Dragon Clan lost at least 100,000, with 5 Dragon Kings dead. The Dragon Clan's losses were truly horrific, but compared to the blood debt owed to the human race, it's nothing. If I had Lin the deity's power, I would also have to enter the Dragon Clan's world and completely annihilate them. Not just the Dragon Clan, but also the Abyss Demons. They cannot be spared either.
What Lin Moyu did not expect was that Antares' live broadcast this time had completely ignited the morale of the human race. Countless people in the human race now took Lin Moyu as their role model, their goal. Even more people became die-hard fans of Lin Moyu. The power of faith further increased, continuously being transmitted to Lin Moyu. Antares looked at Lin Moyu with a wicked smile.
Do you know that mixed blood dragon is about to go crazy?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
It won't go crazy. If it went crazy that easily, it wouldn't be qualified to be the Dragon Emperor. You leveled up again. Are you going to start showing off again?
Antares had a strange smile, as if his hands were itching, eager to try something out. Lin Moyu took out the Staff of Creation, along with the 5 dragon crystals he had just obtained.
Before that, let me repair this first.
One of the crystals looked different from the others, with laws coiled around it. It belonged to a high-level Dragon King. Antares said in a low voice,
You can't repair it like this.
737. Chapter 737. Actually, this thing was made by me. The Staff of Creation shone brightly, especially the life core at the top of the staff, which was even more dazzling. Lin Moyu watched as the life core continuously absorbed dragon crystals, becoming more complete, and the aura of laws on it grew stronger. Just as the life core was about to be fully repaired, Lin Moyu suddenly heard Antares speak, which puzzled him.
Why do you say that?
Lin Moyu asked curiously. Antares chuckled.
You need to know what this thing is made of. Just relying on the dragon crystals of mixed blood dragons is far from enough.
Lin Moyu looked at the life core, then at Antares, who had a mischievous smile.
Does this thing have something to do with you? Of course.
Antares said matter-of-factly. Lin Moyu said,
Why didn't you say so earlier? You didn't ask, did you? You clearly knew. I didn't know. You definitely knew. I really didn't know.
Neither of them would back down, but Antares would never admit it was at fault. At this point, Lin Moyu didn't want to waste any more words.
So how can it be repaired? No rush, let it absorb for a while longer.
The life core continued to swallow dragon crystals one by one. The repair continued, but the speed slowed down. Until the last piece, the dragon crystal of a high-level dragon king, was completely absorbed. The life core seemed to be fully repaired. But Lin Moyu knew that there was still a fine crack running through the entire life core. Proportionally, the life core was about 99% repaired with just a tiny bit left. But this tiny bit could greatly affect the life core. The aura of laws emanating from the life core was also incomplete. A small error can lead to a huge discrepancy. For a mythical weapon, even a tiny bit cannot be off. Antares chuckled.
See, I told you it couldn't be fully repaired.
Lin Moyu said irritably.
Now can you tell me?
Antares chuckled.
Dragon crystals can indeed repair this thing, but the level of mixed blood dragon crystals is too low. Even high-level dragon king crystals are not enough. Unless you get a dragon emperor's dragon crystal, it might work. As for other dragon crystals, no matter how many, it will be the same. They can repair it, but it will never be fully repaired.
Lin Moyu interrupted Antares' rambling.
Get to the point.
Antares sighed.
You have no patience at all. It's actually very simple. This thing is made from one of my dragon scales.
Lin Moyu's eyes widened.
Made from your dragon scale? Is there a problem? With my level, using a dragon scale to make a mythical weapon is overkill. If it weren't for...
Antares stopped talking, as there were many things from the past it didn't want to mention, possibly some secrets it didn't want to reveal. Antares released a breath onto the staff of creation, and the staff immediately shone several times brighter than before. In the light, there was a faint sound of a dragon's roar, but it was very weak and could not be heard without careful listening. Lin Moyu felt that Antares seemed to be hiding something, deliberately erasing its own aura. This also led to Lin Moyu not associating it with Antares at first. After all, when the Staff of Creation appeared, the Dragon Clan had not yet descended, so it shouldn't have much to do with the Dragon Clan. At that time, Lin Moyu just felt it was a bit strange but didn't think much of it. Now he knew it was related to Antares. Under Antares' dragon breath, the last tiny crack in the life core was finally mended. The Staff of Creation was fully restored, and this mythical weapon that once belonged to the god of life was reborn. A strong white light, carrying the aura of laws, shot straight into the sky. Lin Moyu could feel its power. Mythical weapons belong to high-level gods or high-level deities and possess great power. Although it is said that those above level 90 can use mythical weapons, to truly unleash the power of a mythical weapon, one needs to reach level 96 at least to be able to wield laws. Lin Moyu used a detection spell to check the attributes of the Staff of Creation. Staff of Creation. Exclusive mythical weapon of the God of Life. All attributes plus 500,000. Skills. Light of Life and Death. Resurrection. Light of Life and Death. Can heal or attack the target. Resurrection. Can reshape the body of a deity and heal the soul. After the repair, the attributes were enhanced. The skills also changed, with the light of life and the light of death merging into one, becoming the light of life and death. Whether it brings life or death, whether it heals or kills, all depends on the user's will. Additionally, a new skill, Resurrection, was added. This skill gave Lin Moyu hope that those deities who were severely injured and in slumber during the Great War might have a chance. Antares poured cold water on Lin Moyu's excitement.
Don't get too hopeful. This skill can only be used by the God of Life. Now, the deities are either dead or asleep. Even if a deity gets the Staff of Creation, becoming the God of Life would take at least 100 or 200 years. Almost impossible. Unless aided by the world's will, this time could be shortened. But now, the world's will is asleep itself.
Lin Moyu said.
It's still better than having no hope.
At least now Lin Moyu saw hope, which was much better than the previous darkness.
You used your dragon scale to make the Staff of Creation. Why does it have the laws of life?
Lin Moyu felt the aura of laws emanating from the Staff of Creation. This aura was familiar to him, as he had once truly felt it and almost possessed it. And Terry said disdainfully,
With my level, is it strange to understand some laws of life? Otherwise, how do you think Jiang Yi was resurrected?
Lin Moyu accepted this explanation, and Terry's level was indeed beyond his comprehension. After feeling the aura of laws for a while, he put away the Staff of Creation. Now it was time to get down to business. Lin Moyu sat cross-legged, his soul power surging, and he plunged into the skill space. And Terry's eyes also lit up with excitement, ready to take action. In the human world, after the live broadcast ended, new orders quickly spread from the center of power. The Xinxia Empire immediately entered a state of martial law and preparation for war upon receiving the orders. They had to guard against a Dragon Clan attack. Lin Moyu's actions not only caused serious damage to the Dragon Clan but also heavily humiliated them. In their anger, it was not impossible for the Dragon Clan to launch an attack on the human race. In the Yuan battlefield, the atmosphere in each fortress became tense. The watchful eyes kept rotating, observing the entire Yuan battlefield. With the watchful eyes, it was almost impossible for the Dragon Clan to launch a sneak attack. During this time, Lin Moyu's deeds had been widely spread, not only in the Xinxia Empire but also in other countries. Throughout the human world, Lin Moyu had become the #1 idol without exception. Everyone took Lin Moyu as a role model. Each one hoped to become the second Lin Moyu. At the same time, the atrocities committed by the Dragon Clan 1,000 years ago were written into textbooks and became well known. The human race also realized that they had such a tragic and bloody history. Everyone was filled with fighting spirit and worked hard. 738. Chapter 738. She is ambitious and unwilling to be a pawn. Lin Moyu entered the skill space again, feeling that familiar sense of having more than enough power. Lin Moyu knew that this time he could move 2 more skill star cores out. Currently, there were 19 skill star cores left in the skill space. As his level increased, the soul power gained with each level would become stronger. With the continuous improvement of his soul level, the same amount of soul power could exert even greater strength. Lin Moyu was confident that he could move all these skill star cores out before reaching level 90, leaving none behind. If he could do it sooner, that would be even better. After moving all the skill star cores, he still had to go to the most mysterious talent world. The 3 major talents were more important than the skill star cores, and Lin Moyu absolutely could not miss them. Once he reached the god level, the door to the talent world would become smaller, and it would become increasingly difficult to extract the talents and integrate them into his soul. Therefore, all of this had to be completed before reaching level 90. Level 90 was called the God level, and it could be said to be the first true transformation. All the previous work was laying the foundation for this first transformation. The more solid the foundation, the higher he could go in the future. Without a solid foundation, how could he build high? Lin Moyu understood this very well, so he did not dare to relax for a moment. The first skill star core was successfully moved out and sent to the soul world. The soul power rushed in desperately, and the soul body quickly became empty. This feeling was uncomfortable, but Lin Moyu was already used to it. He didn't care at all. When the first round of soul power was exhausted, Lin Moyu spat out the long-awaited words to Antares.
I'm going to make a move now.
Antares said with a mischievous smile. Lin Moyu rolled his eyes at him.
You talk as if you haven't made a move before.
Antares laughed heartily.
I'm just thinking about how to kill you this time. Do whatever you want, just hurry up, you weak dragon.
Lin Moyu said irritably.
I told you not to call me a weak dragon. This time, I've decided to kill you with laws.
Antares said with
killing intent,
spewing out a breath of hot air. The hot air carried the laws of the fire element, possessing super god level damage. The fire element laws surrounded Lin Moyu, turning into blazing flames that burned, causing the undead army to collapse instantly. Under the roasting of the fire element laws, the undead army died twice in a row. The flames disappeared, and then a strong wind blew, the laws of wind entering Lin Moyu's body and then exploding inside him. Antares controlled it very precisely. After 2 attacks with the laws, it just activated Lin Moyu's comprehensive rebirth talent. Accompanied by purple light, Lin Moyu injected soul power into the skill star core for the second round. Antares asked,
"Are you still planning to go to the Dragon Clan?"
Lin Moyu shook his head.
"No, going again won't be very effective. Let's leave it at that for now." "Then what are you planning to do next?"
Lin Moyu thought for a moment.
"I plan to go to the Abyssal Demons. I've been to the Dragon Clan, so I can't let the Abyssal Demons go either."
Antares was a bit puzzled.
"Aren't you cooperating with Liliane?"
Lin Moyu explained.
"The cooperation is only with her personally. It has nothing to do with the Abyssal Demons. Besides, she is willing to sacrifice the demon race. If I kill some, she won't mind. In fact, she might even hope that I can kill some demons. Maybe she will come out to stop me like the Dragon Emperor, but that would just be an act."
Lin Moyu spoke with great confidence. Although he hadn't interacted much with Liliane, he could already analyze some of her behavior patterns. Liliane had no feelings for the demons, at least not like the feelings he had for the human race. Liliane had half-human blood, which she cared about and also hated. But she grew up in the world of abyssal demons, and the demon blood gave her great power. So Liliane's emotions were very complex. At the same time, Liliane was also a very ambitious person. She was unwilling to be someone else's pawn and would try every means to break free. To cooperate with him and to escape the fate of being a pawn, she could sacrifice the abyssal demons and the entire fragment world. All of this was to completely break free from the control of the abyssal demons and become a free entity. Lin Moyu murmured softly,
"Liliane, she is a person with great vision and ambition. If she can break free from control, her future achievements will not be low."
Perhaps after interacting with Antares for a long time, at this moment, he had a sense of being high above. In the abyss, Demon Queen Lily and also received the news of Lin Moyu causing havoc in the Dragon Clan. After getting the detailed information, she couldn't help but smile. Leaning lazily on the Demon Queen's throne, she drank a glass of dragon blood wine, letting the bright red dragon blood drip down the corner of her mouth.
"Growing so fast, you really didn't disappoint me. The stronger you are, the more likely my plan will succeed. I understand your thoughts. After killing the Dragon Clan, you should come to our abyss next. Should I send some heads over? What do you think, little Nana?"
Her gaze turned downward, where the Succubus King was kneeling, trembling. Facing the Demon Queen, the Succubus King had no thoughts of resistance. The 1,000-year-old accumulated power was too strong, and the Succubus King didn't even dare to answer. The Succubus King's real name was Liana, and after becoming the Succubus King, few dared to call her by her name. The only one who dared to call her little Nana was the Demon Queen in front of her. The Succubus King didn't know what the Demon Queen wanted to express and didn't dare to speak. The sound of a stone falling echoed in the palace, and a finely crafted magic stone rolled to the Succubus King's feet. This magic stone was very exquisite and of high grade, faintly emitting the aura of laws. It was a top-grade magic stone, the best kind, something only the Demon Queen was qualified to possess. The Succubus King knew that all her possessions couldn't compare to this small magic stone in front of her. But why did the Demon Queen throw this top-grade magic stone to her? The Succubus King couldn't guess. But it certainly wasn't a simple matter.
"I want to know, how loyal are you to me?"
The Demon Queen's voice sounded, falling into the Succubus King's ears like a thunderclap. Without thinking, the Succubus King immediately responded,
"I am absolutely loyal to your majesty."
There were no exaggerated adjectives, no flattery. One sentence of absolute loyalty was enough. The Succubus King roughly knew the Demon Queen's character. She didn't like flattery, preferring straightforward speech. The Demon Queen chuckled, her voice carrying a hint of coldness.
Now I'll give you a chance to live. Swear a demon blood oath, swear loyalty to me.
The succubus king exclaimed.
Did I do something wrong?
A demon blood oath was not something to be taken lightly. Once sworn, it had to be fulfilled. If not, being reduced to ashes was almost certain. The demon queen's voice echoed in the palace.
You have no choice. Either swear loyalty to me or die here.
Domineering, utterly unreasonable domineering. Either swear and become the demon queen's slave or die here. Faced with the choice between becoming a slave and death, the succubus king didn't hesitate much. A strong aura rose from her body, and then a layer of essence blood flew out, forming a blood cloud. Facing the blood cloud, the succubus king loudly swore.
I swear a blood oath, from now on, I will be the most loyal to.
Before she could finish, the demon queen interrupted her again.
Not the demon queen, but me. You can call me by my name, Lilian Yoheli.
Lilian was just a name, but the full name of a demon was very long. The succubus king didn't dare to resist and obediently swore again. 739, 739. Chapter 739. New spell, manifestation of the undying law. The succubus king couldn't understand why, despite already being loyal to the demon emperor, she had to go through this additional step. Although she was unwilling, she had no choice but to comply to save her life. As the oath was completed, the essence blood that flew out of her body began to boil. A portion of the essence blood flew towards demon emperor Lilian, carrying part of the succubus king's soul. Lilian unceremoniously accepted this essence blood. The succubus king shuddered, feeling as if something had gripped her soul. It felt like a pair of hands was clutching her soul, ready to crush it at any moment, ensuring she could never betray. The succubus king broke out in a cold sweat, feeling terrified. Fortunately, she had no intention of betrayal before, and even less so now. Demon Emperor Lilian smiled.
Congratulations, you will survive the upcoming turmoil.
The succubus king looked up in surprise.
Upcoming turmoil. What is going to happen?
Her gaze then turned to shock as she saw the demon emperor's form change. Previously, the demon emperor had always been shrouded in mist, making it impossible for anyone to see her true form. But now, the mist cleared, revealing the true appearance of the demon emperor. A human. The true form of the demon emperor was human. The succubus king collapsed to the ground, trembling all over. At this moment, demon emperor Lilian smiled brightly, yet coldly. The abyssal green flames burned fiercely, making the demon emperor's palace even colder. The laws roared. After the baptism of the fire element law and the wind element law, Lin Moyu welcomed the baptism of the water element law and the lightning element law. Following these, there were also the light element law and the dark element law. Lin Moyu was speechless.
Antares, how do you know all these laws?
Antares boasted.
I am a top genius. Is there anything I don't know?
This statement was shamelessly arrogant. Lin Moyu retorted.
Do you know the time law?
Antares was immediately silenced. Eventually, Antares explained.
In the great world, there is a principle called Master One Law, Master All Laws. Once you reach a certain level, you can easily grasp some lower-level things.
Antares indeed knew many laws, but only superficially. For example, with several elemental laws, Antares could at most make them exert supergod-level attack power. This was only possible because of its high level. The same was true for the life law. Antares knew a bit about it. Even just a bit was enough for it to dominate this world. It could even use these bits to create mythical weapons like the Staff of Creation. During the Great War back then, Antares did indeed take action. Although it acted secretly, without it, the entire world might have fallen. In Lin Moyu's soul world, Antares stared intently at the skill star core that had reached its limit. Another star was about to appear. Another star was about to explode. When it exploded, that mysterious black dot would appear, which had a fatal attraction to Antares. In the soul world, there were already 3 stars shining brightly, and the 4th was about to appear. Antares thought about the 18 more stars that would appear, illuminating the soul world, and couldn't help but curse.
Freak.
In its knowledge, no one had ever possessed so many star-level spells. Not even heard of it. Boom! The star exploded. In the dazzling light, the small black dot appeared as expected. It only appeared for half a second, but Antares extended this half-second infinitely. Lin Moyu also tried his best to look at the black dot, but still couldn't see anything. This was the third time observing it, and Lin Moyu had already memorized its aura. Every time a star appeared, the black dot was identical with no changes. Not understanding it now was fine. When the time came, he would naturally understand. Antares watched with great interest. Lin Moyu was the same. When the skill star core exploded and transformed into a star, the previously absorbed massive soul power was all returned. First, it was absorbed by the 9-colored dragon soul crystal, refined, and then sprayed out. The soul level increased and the soul space expanded a bit. The soul, which had already reached the peak of level 93, took another step forward, officially entering the level 94 realm. The soul became purer and stronger. For Lin Moyu, each level increase in the soul meant a significant boost in combat power. Undead Gaze, Fusion 100% summons the Eye of the Undead from the Undying World, dealing soul damage to the target. The damage is determined by the strength of the soul. The change seemed minor. The damage was no longer determined by the skill level but purely by the strength of the soul. The stronger Lin Moyu's soul, the greater the damage. The power was undoubtedly enhanced, but how much it was enhanced could only be known through testing. However, the law, that bad feeling reappeared, and the Great World Rune once again affected Lin Moyu. The curse of being unable to bear the law still existed. Lin Moyu didn't feel much about it, as it was expected. However, this star seemed a bit different. The light emitted by the star was somewhat different, slightly dim. In the dimness, there was a hint of silver, unlike the colors of other stars. In the light, Lin Moyu felt a magical aura, like some kind of law.
Is this the Undying Law?
Lin Moyu thought of the time he used the dual star spell to attack Antares. Antares had said that the attack contained a trace of law, which Lin Moyu named the Undying Law. The curse of the Great World Rune could prevent his star-level spells from bearing laws, but it couldn't suppress the laws inherent in the spells. Antares also advised Lin Moyu to focus on understanding the Undying Law, with other laws as secondary. Now, the star of Undead Gaze automatically emitted the aura of the Undying Law. Lin Moyu couldn't be entirely sure if he had sensed it correctly. Antares woke up at this moment, staring at the star, muttering,
Your spell is very strong.
Lin Moyu asked,
Is this law the same as the Undying Law you sensed before?
Antares nodded.
Yes, it is the Undying Law. This is a law I've never heard of before. It should be unique to your profession.
Antares said solemnly. Apart from some third-tier elemental laws, many laws were elusive and extremely difficult to comprehend. But now, the Undying Law was right in front of him, constantly releasing its aura for Lin Moyu to sense and reference. It could be imagined that Lin Moyu's understanding of the Undying Law would greatly improve in the future. Antares never doubted Lin Moyu's talent. Even if he didn't progress by leaps and bounds, he would still advance significantly. Antares said,
Try its power. No need to find a monster to test it on, just use me.
Lin Moyu didn't hesitate, pointing his finger at the sky. The sky suddenly darkened, and the projection of the undying world descended with a roar. Antares' dragon eyes shrank. It had seen the projection of the undying world before, but it had never been as real as it was now. It felt like it wasn't a projection but a real world. Without the undead gate, a massive eye appeared directly in the sky. The eye was over 100 kilometers in diameter, 100,000 meters, like a giant painting unfurled in the sky. 740. Chapter 740. The Perverted Person with Perverted Spells. Lin Moyu, the instigator, was also somewhat surprised. Lin Moyu murmured,
How can it be so big?
The eye, which was 100,000 meters in diameter, covered an area of several hundred kilometers. He didn't know how powerful it was, but the range was much larger than before. Seeing Lin Moyu's shocked expression, Antares laughed heartily.
You look like you've never seen the world. What's so surprising about this? In the great world, a powerful spell from a strong person can cover millions of kilometers. It's not uncommon for it to cover several worlds.
Antares' words pulled Lin Moyu out of his shock. Lin Moyu whispered,
That's the great world. We are in a small world. Even a super god-level spell shouldn't be this large in scale.
Antares nodded.
Indeed. I have to admit, your spell is quite intimidating, but I don't know how powerful it is.
The eye, over 100,000 meters in diameter, opened, with long eye lines on both sides and a pupil diameter of over 30,000 meters. Lin Moyu could see a blazing flame burning in the center of the pupil. A silver-white, undying flame. The flame carried a hint of gray, which was the aura of the undying law. The entire eye looked lifeless, filled with the aura of death. But in the depths of this deathly aura, there seemed to be a presence of life. The undying law belongs to death but transcends death. This feeling was very strange and could not be understood without personal experience. The eye of the undead followed Lin Moyu's will and looked at Antares. Antares suddenly tensed up, as if he was being watched by a terrifying presence. This feeling came from the soul, making Antares uncomfortable. As powerful as he was, he actually felt a threat from the eye of the undead. It should be noted that Lin Moyu was only at level 94. This indicated that the potential of the spell was unimaginably strong. Immediately, Antares felt a slight prick in his soul. It didn't hurt much, but he felt it. Even Antares was shocked, looking at Lin Moyu in astonishment. First, it made his soul feel threatened, and now it made his soul feel attacked. The power of the spell completely exceeded his expectations.
How is it?
Lin Moyu could tell from Antares' expression that the spell's power was impressive. Antares said, the power of the spell was determined by Lin Moyu's soul strength, but it clearly exceeded Lin Moyu's own soul strength. A level 94 soul casting the Eye of the Undead could instantly kill level 95 beings and harm level 96 beings. It was indeed a very powerful spell. The most crucial part was that Lin Moyu felt the undying law from it. The undying law was truly manifested, giving Lin Moyu a reference for learning. Every skill was strong before, and after transforming into a star-level spell, it remained so. The Great World Rune prevented his spells from bearing laws, but the spells themselves gave birth to laws, in a way, surpassing the suppression of the Great World Rune. Lin Moyu was now full of confidence, smiling.
I'll go get another one.
The shadow cast by the Great World Rune's curse was swept away at this moment, and Lin Moyu was full of expectations for his skills. Not only was he like this, but Antares was also the same. At this moment, the Eye of the Undead in the sky had not disappeared. Without Lin Moyu's command, it did not attack again. Antares looked at the giant eye, feeling the undying law within it.
This law. It seems quite strong, encompassing both death and life. But how could such a strong law be something I've never heard of? It's impossible. There are countless laws in the great world. Even if I haven't seen it, I should have heard of it. It's really strange.
Antares couldn't figure it out, and his dragon head hurt from thinking, so he simply stopped thinking. He also tried to comprehend the undying law, not to master it, but to play with a bit of its essence. Just like the laws of life and elements. But unfortunately, Antares felt that he and the undying law were not compatible. Even trying to grasp a bit of its essence was impossible. The principle of
master one law, master all laws
lost its effect at this moment.
Stinky kid, strange person, strange profession, strange skills, and now even the law is so strange. You're really a freak.
Antares grumbled, re-entering Lin Moyu's soul world, waiting for Lin Moyu to bring over the skill star core. In the Demon Emperor's palace, the succubus king was already wide-eyed, her mouth agape, unable to close for a long time. The Demon Emperor actually had half human blood, and she was just cannon fodder. The Abyss here was just a fragment world. Everything was constantly challenging her worldview. The Demon Emperor Lily and looked at her.
Do you know why I chose you?
The Succubus King shook her head blankly.
I don't know. Because you look pleasing to the eye.
The Succubus King was stunned and blurted out.
Is it that simple? Otherwise, I just thought that when I leave here and enter the great world, I might need a subordinate. So I'm giving you this opportunity.
In the Demon Emperor Liliane's earlier explanation, the Succubus King already knew that the Abyss was finished. All the abyssal demons in this fragment world would meet the fate of cannon fodder, without exception. Only the Demon Emperor could survive. The Succubus King didn't want to die either. She had lived for hundreds of years and hadn't had enough. At the same time, she also wanted to pursue greater power.
Thank you, Demon Emperor.
The Succubus King respectfully knelt on the ground. Liliane was very satisfied with the Succubus King's attitude.
Follow me well, and you won't be mistreated in the future.
The Succubus King said,
Demon Emperor, you said Lin Moyu would enter the Abyss. Shouldn't we do something? We don't need to do anything, but we can't do nothing either. When the time comes, just cooperate and put on a show, send some heads his way. He needs to level up now, needs experience. Killing monsters and clearing dungeons can't compare to killing dragons and exterminating demons for leveling up quickly. These cannon fodders, just make the best use of them.
Making the best use of them, what a cruel statement. The Demon Emperor didn't care about the lives of the demons in the Abyss at all. The Succubus King felt lucky at this moment. Otherwise, she would have been used as cannon fodder too. The Demon Emperor pointed a finger, and the roar of the Dragon King came from outside. A splash of red flew in from outside the palace, using the blood of the Dragon King as wine, something only the Demon Emperor could do.
Would you like a cup? The taste of Dragon King's blood is quite good.
Facing the Demon Emperor's invitation, the Succubus King hesitated.
Can I? Why not?
With a charming laugh, another cup of Dragon King's blood flew to the Succubus King. The Dragon King's blood swirled in the cup, reflecting the slightly pale but enchanting face of the Succubus King. Another skill star core was brought over. Lin Moyu began his journey of torment again. This time, Antares didn't joke around and seriously completed his task. After 3 rounds of activating talents, the skill star core was finally fed. It shone brightly, beginning its final brilliance.
The 5th star. I wonder what it will be this time.
The Succubus King felt lucky at this moment. Otherwise, she would have been used as cannon fodder too. The Demon Emperor pointed a finger, and the roar of the Dragon King came from outside. A splash of red flew in from outside the palace, using the blood of the Dragon King as wine, something only the Demon Emperor could do.
Would you like a cup? The taste of Dragon King's blood is quite good.
Facing the Demon Emperor's invitation, the Succubus King hesitated.
Can I? Why not?
With a charming laugh, another cup of Dragon King's blood flew to the Succubus King. The Dragon King's blood swirled in the cup, reflecting the slightly pale but enchanting face of the Succubus King. Another skill star core was brought over. Lin Moyu began his journey of torment again. This time, Antares didn't joke around and seriously completed his task. After 3 rounds of activating talents, the skill star core was finally fed. It shone brightly, beginning its final brilliance.
The 5th star. I wonder what it will be this time.
Lin Moyu said softly. Antares said,
Anyway, it's all perverted. What kind of person matches what kind of spell? That's you.
Lin Moyu chuckled lightly, ignoring him, letting him say whatever he wanted. 741, 741. Chapter 741. Even more perverted passive spell. With a loud explosion, the skill star core reached its ultimate sublimation. Antares stared at the small black dot, and Lin Moyu also gazed at the small black dot. However, Lin Moyu's gaze quickly shifted in another direction. The small black dot was too mysterious and of too high a level. At his current level, he couldn't discern anything from it. It was better to feel the changes brought about by the soul. The soul power fed back, and with the help of the 9-colored dragon soul crystal, it purified and refined the soul power. The soul level increased again, and the scale of the soul world also expanded a bit. Another new star was added, making the soul world even more lively. Lin Moyu did not sense the aura of the undying law from this star. Moreover, this star seemed somewhat different. It was self-contained and kept a considerable distance from other stars. This was not controlled by Lin Moyu but formed naturally. As the number of stars increased, the scale of the soul world also grew larger, and the distances between the stars continued to increase. They were getting farther apart, making the whole world less crowded and more spacious. Lin Moyu felt that his soul world was becoming more and more like the universe. Now, this star gave Lin Moyu a very peculiar feeling. It seemed to be independent of other spells, but had an extremely close connection with the soul. Not only was it closely connected with the soul, but it was also very closely connected with the physical body. The light it emitted carried a warm aura, passing through the soul world and reaching the outside world. Lin Moyu suddenly had a thought.
Is this a passive skill?
His heart warmed, and he eagerly checked it. Upon seeing it, his soul body immediately showed a look of joy. Elemental resistance, fusion 100% passive spell, grants immunity to all elemental attacks for oneself and summon creatures, and reduces damage from all elemental laws by half. The first passive skill transformed into a star-level spell, a passive spell. Its effect underwent a tremendous change. Immunity to all elemental attacks and having the damage from elemental laws. Lin Moyu believed that even in the great world, this effect would be extremely powerful. All attributes also changed accordingly. All the immunities in his attributes disappeared, as this passive spell could permanently provide elemental immunity, making the previous efforts to enhance elemental immunity seem like a waste of energy. But who could have known that this passive skill, after transforming into a star-level spell, would become so perverted?
That idiot was right, a perverted person with perverted spells, ...
And Terry's voice suddenly came.
What did you say?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
Nothing, I just transformed a passive spell this time.
And Terry's frowned and asked sullenly.
What's the effect? I'm not in a good mood right now, so don't provoke me. What's wrong with you?
Lin Moyu asked, and Terry said,
I was just looking at the small black dot and was about to comprehend something, but in the blink of an eye, the comprehension was gone.
Lin Moyu said loudly,
I thought it was something serious. Let me tell you something to cheer you up. What, is your skill not good this time? It seems a bit ordinary.
Lin Moyu explained the effect of his elemental resistance, and Antares immediately let out a terrifying dragon roar, almost deafening Lin Moyu.
Can you be quieter? I'm almost deaf.
Lin Moyu shouted. Antares roared angrily.
You call this not good? You call this not good? Do you know how strong and perverted this passive spell is?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
Is it very strong? I think it's just ordinary.
Antares roared.
Ordinary my foot. It's pervertedly strong. Although there are countless laws in the great world, more than 90% of them are elemental laws. You directly have the damage from elemental laws. How are others supposed to survive?
Lin Moyu actually hadn't mentioned that this having of law damage would be further amplified by his talent, directly increasing it by 90 times. In other words, he could reduce law damage by 90 times. And Terry's reaction was too intense, so Lin Moyu chose to remain silent and not say more. And Terry's shook its big head.
Moreover.
After saying,
moreover.
Several times it couldn't come up with anything. It said through gritted teeth.
Anyway, be careful when you get to the great world. You're too perverted. Don't let others know, or they will be jealous of you. There are many petty people among your human race who might cause you trouble out of jealousy.
Jealousy exists in any race, and it's a normal emotion. But some petty people, driven by jealousy, might do something extreme. Lin Moyu had already learned about the cruelty of the great world from Antares' words. Naturally, he would be cautious.
Thank you, I will be careful.
Antares snorted.
Good to know. You promised to accompany me to kill people, so you can't die halfway. Don't worry, as long as you, the weak dragon, are not dead, I will be fine. Don't call me a weak dragon!
Antares roared angrily and slapped Lin Moyu, sending him flying tens of thousands of meters away. It had control over its strength, so although the slap looked heavy, it didn't actually hurt Lin Moyu. It just had a strong impact, looking scary but causing no harm. Lin Moyu flew back.
Look at you, such a big dragon, can't even take a joke. You need to have a bigger perspective, you taught me that.
Antares snorted.
You don't understand. If you call other dragons weak dragons outside, it would be a deep-seated hatred.
Lin Moyu didn't expect it to be so serious, but this also showed that Antares had a good relationship with him. Lin Moyu smiled.
I know, I'll say it less in the future. Not less, but not at all. I promise you, but I might not be able to do it.
Antares really wanted to breathe fire and burn this shameless guy to death. It regretted making this guy a friend. When this guy didn't talk before, he seemed cool and nice. But now, once he started talking, his mouth was so annoying. Antares gritted its teeth.
Get lost, get lost.
Lin Moyu waved his hand.
I'll be back soon.
He was going to the abyss to farm demon dungeons, and the leveling speed wouldn't be slow. According to Lin Moyu's estimate, it would take at most a few days to level up. If he was fast, it might not even take 2 days. Antares also knew.
Go kill quickly, but let me tell you in advance, after level 86, don't level up this way. Although you have the 9-colored dragon soul crystal, the impact won't be too big, but there will still be some impact.
Lin Moyu naturally took Antares' advice seriously.
Okay, I got it.
Going to the abyss was different from going to the Dragon Clan. He didn't need Antares to send him. He took out the Abyss Teleportation Stone and activated it. Lin Moyu entered the Abyss world for the 3rd time, this time appearing at the mouth of a volcano. Green abyssal fire was burning in the volcano. The abyssal fire in the Abyss world was very peculiar. Could be cold or hot, with the same color but 2 different properties. Some abyssal demons were good at manipulating abyssal fire, making it exhibit both properties. When the abyssal fire turned into cold fire, the extreme temperature could reach minus 100 degrees, enough to freeze even god-level experts, possibly to death. But when it turned into hot fire, the temperature could also reach astonishing levels. Could reach tens of thousands of degrees, enough to burn god-level experts to death. Abyssal fire was the fundamental power of the entire abyss, its essence. 742. Chapter 742. Lin Moyu and Lilian are the same kind of people. Lin Moyu appeared at the mouth of a volcano, and the abyssal fire in this volcano was extremely hot, with temperatures estimated to be at least 5,000 or 6,000 degrees. Even top-tier professionals would find it difficult to survive in such an environment unless they had reached the god level. Even god-level experts would not be comfortable in this environment. In the human world, such an environment does not exist. Even the hottest lava only reaches about 1,000 degrees. The abyss is far more hostile than the human world. The saying,
bad lands breed bad people,
holds true here, as only such an environment could produce such ferocious demons. Dragons eat humans and demons do too. Demon dragons especially like to drink human blood. Over the millennia, demons have consumed countless humans. Of course, humans have also killed countless demons. The hatred between the 2 sides has long reached an irreconcilable point. The 3 races are mutually antagonistic and hostile, and none will spare the others. Whenever there is an opportunity, they will certainly try to kill each other without mercy. Lin Moyu left the mouth of the volcano and randomly chose a direction to fly. He had no specific goal, just to kill demons. He treated the abyss as a dungeon and the demons as monsters within it, essentially coming here to level up. Unlike with the Dragon Clan, he did not need to worry about Lilian. As long as Lilian did not target him, he was invincible. High-level demons were not a concern for Lin Moyu. Would Lilian take action? Lin Moyu knew she wouldn't. As the demon emperor, Lilian was very smart. She knew what to do and what not to do, and she knew what she wanted and how to get it. The abyssal demons were just tools for her, and maintaining balance over the millennia was all for her own benefit. When Lin Moyu arrived in the abyss, both Lilian and the succubus king looked in his direction. Both had left a demonic aura on Lin Moyu and could sense his presence. The succubus king said,
"Your Majesty, Lin Moyu is here."
Demon Emperor Lilian smiled.
"Let him come. Let's pretend we don't know for now."
The succubus king asked,
"Shouldn't we tell Lin Moyu that we won't be his enemies?" "No need. This guy is very smart and has probably already guessed it."
Lilian said confidently, sipping dragon blood. Since Lilian had said so, the succubus king, as her subordinate, naturally had no objections. For her, Lilian's words were law and rules. Under the demon blood oath, she could never betray. This was also why Lilian could trust her with such matters. Lin Moyu flapped his undead wings, flying quickly, appearing hundreds of miles away in an instant. Soon, Lin Moyu saw a demon city. Flames rose from the city, and as soon as Lin Moyu appeared, even from a distance, the city issued a strong alarm. The abyssal fire boiled, flames roared, and a powerful barrier instantly rose, covering the entire city. At the top center of the city, an eyeball-like object was rotating. It was called the Demon Eye by the abyssal demons, and the human race's watchful eye was modeled after it. Lin Moyu had to admit that many human technologies were learned from demons and dragons. Formations and barriers were among the things learned and integrated into human practices, becoming their own. The Eternal Great Wall combined the advantages of formations and barriers, ultimately surpassing both. Through continuous learning, the human race also developed many professions. Professions like formation masters and alchemists, which did not exist before, emerged later. This was the human race's strength. They excelled at learning and even more at creating. Unfortunately, demons were inherently powerful, and despite 1,000 years of effort, humans could only maintain a relative balance with them. However, Lin Moyu also knew that given another 1,000 years, the human race would surely surpass the demons and suppress both the demons and dragons. After a few more centuries, there would be a chance to eliminate both races. Lin Moyu knew that what he could foresee, Lilian, being so smart, could also foresee. From an unknown little demon to becoming the demon emperor, while hiding her half-human bloodline, Lilian's methods, vision, and foresight were evident. In the past, without opportunities, Lilian lay low and never acted. This time, seeing an opportunity, Lilian acted immediately. Lin Moyu thought a lot in an instant and understood many things. He liked to analyze, to peel back layers to see the future. Lilian also liked to analyze. They were the same kind of people, which is why they could work well together. Lin Moyu stood far outside the city, still thousands of meters away. He could see the demons on high alert, panicking. Clearly, his actions among the Dragon Clan had already reached the abyss. Abyssal demons had spies everywhere, similar to the Demon Worship Society among humans, and likely within the Dragon Clan as well. The speed at which demons transmitted information was no slower than that of the Dragon Clan. Clearly, his actions were already known throughout the abyss. He was already on the abyss's most wanted list, one of the demon's top targets. The current situation was therefore quite normal.
Fear is useless. For millennia, you have slaughtered the human race countless times. Our fear became your best seasoning. Now it's my turn.
Compared to the Dragon Clan, Lin Moyu's hatred for demons was even deeper. From childhood textbooks, the crimes of the abyssal demons were numerous. This hatred had long been ingrained in his bones. Lin Moyu pointed his finger at the sky. The demon world suddenly darkened. The abyssal demon world was already dim, with the light from the abyssal fire not being very bright. Now, with the projection of the undying world appearing, the world became even darker. Then, clusters of silver-white flames appeared, bringing light back to this world. Between the darkness and the white, the sky seemed like a giant curtain being pulled open, and a massive eye of the undead, 10,000 meters in size, appeared in the sky. This scene shocked everyone. The giant eye in the sky covered the entire city. Lin Moyu's vision instantly connected with the eye of the undead, and the scene changed, putting Lin Moyu in a godlike perspective. He looked down on all beings like an invincible deity. All the demons in the city were visible, even those hiding in rooms or underground, unable to escape the gaze of the eye of the undead. Deep within the giant eye of the undead, the undying law surged. The eye of the undead, carrying the aura of death, swept through the city. The demons in the city died silently. The barrier in the city continued to operate, and the demon eye at the highest point in the city continued to issue warnings. But all the demons in the city were already dead. Their bodies remained intact, but their souls had been erased. There were no demon kings in the city. The highest level was just high-level demons in their 80s. They couldn't withstand the soul attack of the eye of the undead. After transforming from an ordinary skill to a star-level spell, the power of the undead gaze had increased tremendously. Even without using the undead army, Lin Moyu could walk through the abyss world unchallenged with just this skill. After wiping out the entire city in an instant, Lin Moyu turned and left. In the Demon Emperor's palace, Demon Emperor Lilian's gaze pierced through the void, witnessing this scene. She was speechless for a long time, her wine glass frozen in her hand. The Succubus King didn't know what Lilian had seen and didn't dare to ask, but she knew that Lilian must have seen something astonishing. 743 Chapter 743 Sweeping the Royal City, the dominant Lin Moyu.
If I had this skill before, it would have been great.
Lin Moyu thought about the battle at the Dragon Clan's royal city. If he had this skill before, at least half of the millions of dragons in front of the Dragon Clan's royal city would have been wiped out. His level would have increased by several levels consecutively. Suddenly, a warm current came from the void.
The power of faith.
The power of faith had always existed, but it suddenly strengthened again. Lin Moyu knew that it was probably Antares causing trouble again. Indeed, Antares had once again started a live broadcast. People discovered that Lin Moyu had moved from the Dragon Clan's world to the Abyssal world. Lin Moyu really didn't spare anyone, treating everyone equally. Just now, with one use of the undead gaze, he directly wiped out an entire city of demons, shocking the human race. No one had ever seen such a skill. It was too overpowering, too strong. Once again, countless people became die-hard fans of Lin Moyu, gathering a strong power of faith. The power of faith had significant benefits for the soul, making the soul world more stable and also enhancing the soul level. The power of faith was not pure, but fortunately, Lin Moyu had the 9-colored dragon soul crystal, which could refine the power of faith. The power of faith continuously flowed in, being converted into soul power. The soul world became increasingly stable, and the soul level also slowly improved. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal worked this way, with a slow but steady improvement. This was related to the Dragon Clan's long lifespan. They didn't care about lifespan, only seeking stability and a solid foundation. Lin Moyu found another city. This was a large city, and from a distance, Lin Moyu sensed the presence of a demon king in the city. This was a royal city. The structure of the Abyssal world was different from that of the Dragon Clan. Here, each area was controlled by a demon king, and the main city where the demon king resided was called the royal city. Surrounding the royal city, there would be several relatively smaller cities. These cities formed the territory of the demon king. Lin Moyu found a royal city. The barrier of the royal city had already been raised. The arrival of Lin Moyu had already been known to the abyssal demons, but they didn't know that the barrier was useless against Lin Moyu. A demon king flew to the city wall, looking at Lin Moyu through the barrier.
Lin Moyu, you have a lot of guts to dare to intrude into my abyssal world. I advise you to leave quickly. The abyss is not the Dragon Clan. If you don't leave, you won't be able to go. When the demon emperor takes action, you will surely die.
Lin Moyu looked at him as if looking at an idiot. This wasn't his first time here. Don't pretend you don't know. Moreover, this guy was clearly bluffing, scared to death. He should have known that Lin Moyu slaughtered dragon kings like dogs. Lin Moyu didn't bother to talk nonsense with him, as he was just a low-level demon king at most level 92, nothing significant. Demons look down on humans, and humans look down on demons. Lin Moyu pointed his finger at the sky. A grand scene reappeared. The undying world, silver-white flames. The sky turned into a giant curtain, and the eye of the undead gazed at the entire city. There was a saying among humans. When you gaze into the abyss also gazes into you. This saying referred to the entrance of the abyss in the Yuan battlefield, an extremely deep space passage. However, now this saying needed to be changed. When you gaze at the undead also gaze at you. Here, the undead naturally referred to the eye of the undead, which was more tangible than the entrance of the abyss. The difference was that looking at the entrance of the abyss was harmless, but looking at the eye of the undead was dangerous. The moment the eye of the undead appeared, undead flames burned in its depths, entwined with the undying law. All the demons saw their reflections in the eye of the undead. The demon king felt a warning of danger in his heart. His hair stood on end, and he flapped his wings, trying to escape. He held a magic stone in his hand, crushing it hard, and a teleportation portal appeared beside him. He wanted to step into it, but it was too late. Just as he got halfway in, the eye of the undead swept over him. He froze instantly, unable to move. A few seconds later, he let out a scream, and his body exploded. Lin Moyu saw a much smaller demon fly out of his body, rushing into the teleportation portal.
Such a life-saving ability. Demons have all sorts of strange abilities. Quite interesting.
Lin Moyu knew that abyssal demons were more troublesome than the Dragon Clan. The Dragon Clan had stronger frontal combat abilities, but not as many strange abilities as the demons. Seeing him escape, countless demons in the city crushed their magic stones, trying to teleport away. Even the Demon King had fled. Why would they stay and die? Not all demons had teleportation stones, and not all demons had time to activate them. The eye of the undead swept over the entire royal city with overwhelming terror. Wherever its gaze fell, everything fell silent. The demons died silently, without suspense. Experience points increased crazily. Lin Moyu couldn't count how many demons were in the royal city. After slaughtering 2 cities in a row, his experience had increased significantly. If he slaughtered a few more cities, it would be enough to level up. Now, each level up would greatly increase his soul power, allowing him to move at least 2 skill star cores. Transforming skill star cores into star-level spells would greatly enhance the power of his skills. His combat power would also increase accordingly. At level 81, he needed the undead army to break the barrier when attacking a city. The barrier could withstand forbidden spells, and even the undead army needed 1 or 2 minutes to break it. But now, with one use of the undead gaze, he could directly destroy a city. It was more useful than forbidden spells and the undead army. However, the undead army also had its uses. 1,000 headless knights appeared around him, quickly charging in all directions. They went to search for cities. With the main city here, the other affiliated cities shouldn't be too far away. One person searching was inefficient, so he let the headless knights search. Soon, the headless knights returned with information. They had found small cities. For small cities like satellites surrounded the royal city. The demons in the small cities had already received the news and fled quickly, leaving only a few stragglers. Lin Moyu didn't even bother to go. It wasn't worth it. Lin Moyu sent out more headless knights, who continued to spread out, searching for royal cities. Lin Moyu knew that the entire abyss should now be aware of his arrival. Moreover, many demons had escaped, and they would surely think of ways to deal with him. Demons were not stupid, much smarter than the single-minded Dragon Clan. If they couldn't find a way to deal with him, they would scatter completely. Although there were many demons, once they scattered, It would be very inefficient to find and kill them one by one. Lin Moyu now had the power to crush demons, so he didn't bother with strategies. He would slaughter a few more cities while they hadn't scattered yet. If the demons escaped, he could still go to the Dragon Clan's world. He could visit again and give the Dragon Emperor a surprise. If the Dragon Emperor dared to gather the Dragon Clan again, he would give him an unforgettable experience. Tens of thousands of headless knights rampaged across the abyss, moving at high speed, leaving countless silver flames in the air. Soon, one royal city after another was discovered by the headless knights. Lin Moyu chose the nearest royal city and brought death with him. 744. Chapter 744. If you can't learn to be ruthless, then learn to die. Outside the Demon Emperor's palace, a dozen demon kings arrived simultaneously. They called out to the Demon Emperor, hoping that Demon Emperor Lilian would take action to stop Lin Moyu. The entire Demon Emperor's palace was surrounded by the fierce abyssal fire, the most intense flame in the abyss, with a dark green color tinged with black. It was filled with Lilian's laws, possessing the power of destruction and imbued with her personal will. Even high-level demon kings could not approach. The demon kings could only call out from outside the palace. After a long time, the abyssal fire trembled slightly, and a cold voice came from within the palace.
I know. I will take action.
The dozen demon kings immediately smiled. In their view, as long as the Demon Emperor took action, Lin Moyu was nothing. After all, the information they had indicated that Lin Moyu could not defeat the Dragon Emperor. The Demon Emperor had fought the Dragon Emperor before and was clearly stronger. As demons, they had confidence in their emperor. Inside the Demon Emperor's palace, the Succubus King cautiously asked,
Your Majesty, are you really going to take action?
By now, the Succubus King knew what had happened. Lin Moyu had been slaughtering cities along the way unstoppable. Moreover, Lin Moyu's performance was even stronger than when he slaughtered cities in the Dragon Clan. The Succubus King couldn't believe how Lin Moyu had become so much stronger in such a short time. There should be a limit to getting stronger, but why did Lin Moyu seem to have no limit? Every so often, he would become significantly stronger than before. Fighting above his level was as easy as eating and drinking. Initially, he was able to slay the Flame Demon King with a level below 60. Later, his level and combat power increased at an astonishing rate, almost like cheating. Now, at just over level 80, he could easily slay high-level Dragon Kings and even confront the Dragon Emperor and Demon Emperor. The Succubus King had never seen such a talented human professional, almost like a monster. The Succubus King was also fortunate that she had not stubbornly fought against Lin Moyu. Otherwise, she might be dead by now. Lilian chuckled.
Do you think Lin Moyu is very perverted, with combat power that defies logic?
Her voice was pleasant and melodious, and her human form was nearly perfect, especially her beautiful face, which even made the Succubus King feel a sense of inferiority. The Succubus King said,
Among all the humans I've seen, he is the most talented.
Lilian smiled.
People like him are called monsters in the great world. There are many monsters in the great world, but there shouldn't be many like him.
Mentioning the great world, a look of anticipation appeared in the Succubus King's eyes. She had just learned some information about the great world from Lilian. She had thought that the abyss, humans, and dragons were the entire world. She didn't realize that the world she knew was just an insignificant island in the vast ocean. She also wanted to see what the real great world was like. Lilian said,
Let's go. It's time to send some heads. Lin Moyu is approaching your territory. Show your sincerity.
The Succubus King understood what
Sending heads
meant. She had no resistance to Lilian's orders and immediately replied,
Yes, Your Majesty.
Lilian waved her hand, and she and the Succubus King disappeared from the palace. In the next second, the Succubus King appeared in her own royal city. Lilian had been rooted in the abyssal world for many years and was not just hiding in the Demon Emperor's palace doing nothing. In secret, she had arrangements throughout the abyssal world. She had backdoors everywhere in this world. For example, now, if she wanted to go somewhere or send someone somewhere, she only needed a thought to open a teleportation channel and arrive directly. She was much smarter than the Dragon Emperor, always preparing a way out for herself. If the path she envisioned didn't work, she had a final backup plan. However, even she wasn't sure if that backup plan would work, so she wouldn't use it unless absolutely necessary. The Succubus King immediately summoned her closest subordinates upon returning to her royal city, including a succubus named Mina.
You all leave immediately and find a place to hide. Wait for my orders before coming out.
The Succubus King's expression was extremely serious, and her tone was very grave. Although she was fully loyal to Liliane, she still wanted to save the lives of a few trusted subordinates.
Yes, Your Majesty.
They had no doubt about the Succubus King's orders. They thought she was sending them to confront Lin Moyu. In the demon society, the Succubus King was the supreme existence in their eyes. They immediately teleported away and disappeared. The Succubus King stood on the city wall, looking at the many demons in the city, and sighed. Liliane's order was for her to send heads. The demons in the city were the heads to be sent. How to send them was up to her. The Succubus King knew that sending away a few trusted subordinates would not escape Liliane's notice. However, she had no intention of betrayal, so Liliane should not mind. Lin Moyu was approaching, and the Succubus King activated the barrier outside the city. As the ruler of the royal city, she had absolute control. The barrier covered the entire royal city, not just a defensive barrier but other barriers as well. Teleportation arrays and devices were all disabled at this moment. All communications were cut off, unable to send any information to the outside world. From this moment on, the royal city became an isolated island. This was how she sent heads. The Succubus King looked at the demons in the city and sighed again. This world was so cruel. It was said that the great world was even crueler. If you can't learn to be ruthless, then you must learn to accept death. For this reason, the Succubus King began to be ruthless. But she wasn't completely ruthless. At least she saved a few trusted subordinates. After doing all this, the Succubus King hid. Lin Moyu found several royal cities through the Headless Nights. He chose a relatively convenient route and slaughtered cities along the way. As he expected, the demons fled when they saw the situation turning against them. In the 2 cities he passed through, there weren't many demons left. On the contrary, the Headless Knights encountered many demons on the way, and those demons fled like they had seen a ghost when they saw the Headless Knights. Compared to the Dragon Clan, the demons were much smarter. Once they scattered, it would be difficult for Lin Moyu to carry out a true city massacre. This also made his experience gain slower than expected. In the human world, Terry's live broadcast continued. Lin Moyu's strong and decisive actions in sweeping through the demon royal cities left a deep impression on people. The giant eye of the undead, like a heavenly curtain, swept through the royal cities, leaving no survivors. This amazed everyone. Lin Moyu seemed to be telling the world that he not only had a powerful undead army, but also skills more terrifying than forbidden spells.
The demons are too cunning. They all ran away. What else could they do? Stay in the city and wait to die? True, even if a demon king came, it would be a death sentence. It seems the Dragon Clan is really stupid.
The human world was abuzz with discussion, and everyone saw through the demons' coping strategy. Although cowardly, it was effective. Lin Moyu was also somewhat helpless. The fragment world was not small, and once the demons scattered and hid, finding and killing them one by one would be extremely inefficient.
Feeling a bit troubled?
A pleasant voice rang out, and Liliane stepped out of the space. Lin Moyu was not surprised by Liliane's arrival.
It's okay, just a bit troublesome.
745. Chapter 745. Cooperating and acting, truly a great gift. Liliane's appearance once again caused a stir in the human world. Lin Moyu's heart tightened.
Is this the Demon Emperor? Yes, exactly like the records. The Demon Emperor has finally taken action. I wonder if Lin Moyu can handle it. Hard to say. Lin Moyu is strong, But the Demon Emperor is no weakling. Lin Moyu, please be careful.
Everyone was worried for Lin Moyu. In the past 1,000 years, the Demon Emperor had rarely taken action, only a few times. But each time it was overwhelmingly powerful. Even the half-step supergods among the humans could barely contend with her. Now that Lin Moyu had to face the Demon Emperor, everyone felt the outcome was uncertain. Meng Anwen and others, however, were not nervous at all. They knew the relationship between Lin Moyu and the Demon Emperor. They knew the Demon Emperor would not truly harm Lin Moyu, and Lin Moyu would certainly be safe. Moreover, the Demon Emperor had already betrayed the Abyss for her own sake. Now that the Demon Emperor appeared, it was most likely to put on a show. Lilianne's entire body was shrouded in mist, making it impossible to see her appearance. The mist was thick, occupying a large space and constantly rolling. Various demonic images appeared in the mist, looking extremely terrifying. This was also the image the Demon Emperor usually presented. Moreover, Lilianne's voice was usually cold and slightly hoarse. No one knew Lilianne's true appearance. Lin Moyu's response elicited a light laugh from Lilianne.
Is it just a bit troublesome?
Her voice was completely different from the image she presented. Fortunately, Antares' live broadcast had no sound. Otherwise, it would have shocked many people. Lin Moyu knew she was not here to stop him. If she really wanted to stop him, she would have done so when he first arrived in the Abyss.
Are you here to act with me?
Lin Moyu asked. The Demon Emperor smiled.
I know your intentions, so I came to give you a gift, a token of sincerity. Acting, of course, must be done properly.
Lin Moyu immediately understood the meaning behind the Demon Emperor's words.
You also want to see my true combat power during the act, right?
The Demon Emperor's actions were never simple. Just for acting? Impossible. The Demon Emperor sought cooperation with him because she valued his strength and his future potential. If he did not meet her requirements, this cooperation could end at any time. Someone like Lilianne would never put all her eggs in one basket. Lilianne had known her situation for 1,000 years and must have made many arrangements during that time. Cooperating with him was just one of the more reliable methods. Lilianne said,
Even though it's acting, we must take it seriously.
As expected, Lin Moyu chuckled.
Then as you wish.
He pointed a finger. Dual star spell. Bone prison. Spell. Undead gaze. 2 spells, or rather 3 spells, were used simultaneously. White bones appeared on the thick mist surrounding Lilianne, and bone spikes erupted. At this moment, the thick mist became Lilianne's body and her armor. The bone spikes flashed white and pierced into the thick mist, then disappeared. This spell was still somewhat lacking against Lilianne. The sky turned black, then silver-white. A giant curtain opened in the sky, and the eye of the undead gazed at Lilianne. Lin Moyu heard a soft cry, indicating some pain. Even Antares felt something under the gaze of the eye of the undead. So Lilianne, as a half-step supergod, would inevitably feel pain, though not injured. Lilianne was extremely surprised. Now, something that could make her feel pain meant that when Lin Moyu reached her level, he might be able to kill her instantly. Lilianne clearly felt the threat from the skill, a danger from the soul level. If Lin Moyu truly reached her level, she might be powerless against him. Lilianne was very conflicted at this moment. On one hand, Lin Moyu's strength made her feel her judgment was correct. On the other hand, Lin Moyu's strength also made her wary. If Lin Moyu turned against her at the end of their cooperation, she might not be able to counter him. Lilianne considered many things in an instant and finally realized she had no choice. Even now, she was already helpless against Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu had Antares behind him, making him unkillable. This was one of the reasons she decided to cooperate with him. Everything happened in a flash, and Lilianne quickly figured it out, discarding all useless emotions. Once the bow is drawn, the arrow must be shot, so she decided to go all the way. In the next second, Lilianne began to counterattack. A large hand reached out from the thick mist, carrying the aura of destruction, and rushed towards Lin Moyu. Destruction law. Liliane's domain was the Destruction Law, a second-tier powerful law, much stronger than the Dragon Emperor's Stone Law. This also proved that Liliane's talent was very high. With such high talent and intelligence, how could she be content to be a pawn, especially one with constant life-threatening danger? Lin Moyu could fully understand Liliane. With a slight flap of the undead wings, Lin Moyu instantly disappeared, avoiding the Demon Emperor's attack. The overwhelming palm struck the ground, causing the earth to rumble and collapse. Nearby hills instantly disappeared, and nothing could grow under the Destruction Law. Lin Moyu reappeared a kilometer away, summoning the Undead Legion. Bone dragons roared, and headless knights charged. In the sky, the skeleton throne appeared, and 2 skeleton kings responded. The battle began. The thick mist rolled, and Liliane attacked fiercely, causing large numbers of the Undead Legion to die. Lin Moyu continuously used dual star spells. Although the bone prison could not harm Liliane, it could still hinder her. The undead gaze activated again, and Liliane let out another soft cry. The battle was real and the pain was real. However, both sides held back, making the seemingly intense battle not as intense as it appeared. Lin Moyu constantly changed positions, dodging Liliane's attacks. Liliane did the same. The battle area kept expanding. Unknowingly, a large city came into view. This was the city of the Succubus King, and at this moment the barrier was raised, filled with countless demons. Lin Moyu understood that this was the great gift Liliane was giving him. A city full of demons. Just now, the 2 of them kept changing positions, with the Demon Emperor deliberately leading the battlefield here. To outsiders, it was completely unnoticeable. In terms of acting, Liliane was perfect, not losing to any actor. Unlike the last time when the gift was traitors from the human race, this time it was real demons. Liliane was also using this to show her determination to cooperate with Lin Moyu. She was truly ready to sacrifice the abyssal demons.
Very decisive.
Since that was the case, Lin Moyu naturally had to cooperate with her. In the Succubus King city, the demons saw Lin Moyu and the Demon Emperor. The Demon Emperor was fighting Lin Moyu, and the demons in the city were excited. They all shouted for the Demon Emperor to kill Lin Moyu. Little did they know the Demon Emperor had sold them to Lin Moyu.
Please!
Liliane's voice rang in Lin Moyu's ear. Lin Moyu did not hesitate, pointing his finger at the sky, and the Eye of the Undead appeared above the city. The demons already knew the terror of the Eye of the Undead. As soon as it appeared, many demons instinctively tried to escape. Only then did they realize that the teleportation stones were ineffective. Not only were the teleportation stones ineffective, but they couldn't even send out any information. The entire city was sealed off. 746. Chapter 746. It's comfortable dealing with smart people. The demons in the city died in despair. Most of them, until their death, did not know why. Why did the teleportation magic stones become ineffective? Why couldn't any information be sent out? Only a few clever ones realized it before their souls departed. But what use was that? They could only lose their souls with that realization and rest eternally. The succubus queen hid far away, watching the demons die one by one, her heart pounding non-stop. If she hadn't become the demon emperor's slave and one of her own people, she might have been one of those in the city. She knew the demon emperor's methods. Even without her, the demon emperor had ways to seal off the city. Not just her city, but any demon king's city, the demon emperor could control them all. The demon emperor must have made arrangements over the 1,000 years, using ingenious methods far beyond imagination. The succubus queen only knew the tip of the iceberg. The rest was just guesswork. And just the tip of the iceberg was enough to make her heart race. In just 2 minutes under the undead gaze, the entire royal city was massacred. Experience increased dramatically again. With just 2 more cities like this, he could level up once more. Lin Moyu muttered,
"It seems the demon emperor is angry."
Even the skeleton kings did not survive a glimpse of the demon emperor's might. Lin Moyu's expression changed slightly as his undead wings flapped, instantly disappearing without a trace. The mist contracted, and the Demon Emperor had clearly also lost track of Lin Moyu's whereabouts. Immediately after, the Demon Emperor let out a hoarse, shrill roar filled with fury. This scene was strikingly similar to what had just happened in the Dragon Clan's world. Only the Succubus Queen knew clearly that the Demon Emperor was just acting. Her acting was so exquisite that if the Succubus Queen didn't know the truth, she might have been fooled too. But to outsiders, the situation was different. The Demon Emperor took action and fiercely battled Lin Moyu. However, the too cunning Lin Moyu managed to launch a sneak attack on a royal city amidst the great battle. In the end, the furious Demon Emperor was no match for Lin Moyu, who fled. Lin Moyu's escape skills were formidable. Neither the Dragon Emperor nor the Demon Emperor could do anything about it. Even the humans watching the live broadcast thought the same. Seeing Lin Moyu successfully escape, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. No one objected to Lin Moyu's retreat. After all, his opponent was the Demon Emperor, a half-step supergod and one of the strongest in the world. In the human world, there was only one half-step supergod who could barely contend with the Demon Emperor. To be able to retreat safely, while even launching a sneak attack on a Demon King city amidst the great battle with the Demon Emperor, in everyone's hearts, Lin Moyu had already won. Especially when the Demon Emperor let out an enraged roar. Exactly the same as the Dragon Emperor, it was clear that Lin Moyu had the upper hand. Lin Moyu's status was further elevated in people's hearts, and they even began to sing his praises. At this moment, the live broadcast also disappeared, and Terry's closed his eyes.
That's about enough. Too much is too much.
Under his promotion, Lin Moyu had been completely deified, thoroughly surpassing legendary figures like the God of War and the God of Light, and even the half-step supergods of the human race. After all, no one had ever invaded the Dragon Clan's world, invaded the Abyss, let alone massacred their cities like this. Lin Moyu's actions had undoubtedly vented the anger of the entire human race and avenged the blood debts owed by countless people. Lin Moyu escaped and left, and Lily N did not pursue him. Lin Moyu also knew that Lily N would not pursue him. Acting was like this. Lily N was very measured, and the two had an excellent rapport. Dealing with smart people is comfortable, without needing to say much to know what to do. The direction Lin Moyu left in was not chosen randomly either, but was the direction Lily N had pointed out during their battle. Through her actions, Lily N had indicated a path for Lin Moyu. Coincidentally, in his previous explorations, there were indeed two royal cities thousands of miles in that direction. When Lin Moyu arrived at the royal cities, he found that they had been sealed off. Not a single demon inside could leave or send out any information. The same situation as the Succubus Queen city. Another great gift from Lily Ann. Lin Moyu accepted it without hesitation. After massacring these two cities, a white light of leveling up emanated from Lin Moyu's body. He finally reached level 83, and his soul power surged tremendously. Lin Moyu looked towards a certain area of the void.
You've followed me all this way. Come out.
The void distorted, and the Succubus Queen walked out.
Divine Marshal Lin, long time no see.
The Succubus Queen greeted Lin Moyu. The two had crossed paths more than once and were half acquainted. Lin Moyu said,
You're not afraid of death?
The Succubus Queen's expression changed slightly, but she gritted her teeth and said,
You won't kill me. If you wanted to kill me, you could have done so already. And I've already given you my city.
Lin Moyu looked the Succubus Queen up and down. He had to admit, although a demon, she was very pleasing to human aesthetics. If not for the tail behind her back and her slightly pointed ears, she would truly be a great beauty. Lin Moyu said in a low voice,
You're very clever. Follow your master well, and you might preserve your life in the future.
After saying that, Lin Moyu activated the Abyss Teleportation Stone and left the Abyss world. He knew that continuing would yield no more gains. The Demon Emperor's great gift had been received, and the other cities were likely already deserted. With the demons scattered, trying to find and kill them one by one would be time-consuming and laborious. As for the Demon Kings, they were probably hiding even deeper. But it didn't matter, there would be opportunities in the future, and by then, not a single one would be able to escape. Only after Lin Moyu left did the succubus queen finally breathe a long sigh of relief. Liliane had pointed out a direction for Lin Moyu, but the succubus queen had also understood it. So she mustered her courage and followed, discovering that there were indeed 2 sealed royal cities, just like her own city. The perpetrator didn't need to be said. It must have been her master, Liliane. Just as she had thought, Liliane did have arrangements in place and methods to control every royal city. If she had harbored any other thoughts at the time, she might have died in the city too. Liliane's methods were so ingenious and her actions so cautious that the succubus queen finally witnessed them firsthand. Cold sweat poured down her back. It was fortunate that she was still loyal. The mist rolled in silently, and in the blink of an eye, the succubus queen found herself back in the demon emperor's palace. The demon emperor Liliane was still sitting lazily on the demon emperor's throne, looking somewhat languid.
Do you understand now?
Liliane's voice carried a hint of coldness. The succubus queen knelt on the ground in fright.
Your Majesty, I was just curious. I had no other thoughts.
Liliane swirled the wine glass lightly.
I know, otherwise you'd already be dead.
The succubus queen knelt on the ground, not daring to raise her head.
Your Majesty, how did Lin Moyu know I was your person?
Liliane's voice was as melodious as wind chimes, yet as sharp as a sword's aura.
For someone as clever as him, how could he not see through it? Remember, if you want to survive the final purge and live well in the future, then obey obediently. I don't necessarily need you. Those few little succubi you deliberately let escape will see if they obey and have the fortune.
The succubus queen listened to Liliane's words, her mind spinning rapidly. She seemed to know what she should and shouldn't do. 747.